kedua tim ini untuk saling mengamankan poin agar bisa juga mengamankan posisinya menuju babak playoff ataupun upper bracket. Dan di sini para Kingdoms dan juga Evos Fam sudah begitu semangat, antusias memberikan dukungan yang terbaik untuk tim kesayangannya. Thank you untuk seluruh Kingdom dan Evos Fam, dan tentunya thank you untuk seluruh super fans, dan tentunya MPL Indonesia Season 14 powered by Munton, presented by official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy, official e-wallet by GoPay, official destination for gaming and esports Kedia, dan juga tentunya ada official gold partner Ubas Gold. Dan thank you untuk seluruh partner in esports, ada Campina, Head and Shoulders, kemudian ada Oraimo, Telkomsel, Dunia Games, IndiHome, dan juga WeDrink. Gak lupa juga thank you untuk seluruh suppliers kita, ada Erigo, Click Indomaret, ada Yummy Choice, dan juga Saturdays. Gak lupa juga tentunya thank you untuk MPL Indonesia Season 14 yang supported by PBSI. Dan tentunya di sini Kingdom, Evos Fam sudah berkumpul semuanya untuk memberikan semangat yang terbaik untuk kedua tim. Karena kalau kita lihat memang udah jarang nih kita lihat kedua tim ini bisa bertemu di babak grand final. Tapi Monica mau ingetin lagi nih, refresh ingatan kita bagaimana masa-masa kejayaan dari Derby Classic. Kita lihat sama-sama dong yang ada di layar ini, era golden era of the classic derby. Tentunya ini kita semua Kingdom, Evos Fam udah sangat kangen bisa ngelihat bagaimana pertarungan dari classic derby ini bisa bertemu lagi di babak grand final. Karena kalau kita ingat ini kayaknya udah lama banget, terakhir tuh season 5 mereka ketemu, dan sekarang udah season 14, sudah berseason-season kita nggak ngelihat classic derby berada di grand final MPL Indonesia. Akankah kali ini akan terjadi lagi kita bisa menyaksikan classic derby di grand final? Mungkin bakalan sulit karena RRQ udah mengamankan tiket ke playoff di Bandung. Tapi sebaliknya, Evos Glory harus berusaha sekuat tenaga untuk bisa mengamankan poin demi poin untuk bisa naik ke peringkat klasemen. Karena sekarang mereka berada di posisi peringkat yang bertolak belakang. RRQ berada di puncak klasemen, sementara Evos Glory berada di peringkat terakhir. Tapi tentunya ini tidak mengurangi antusias dari seluruh Evos Fam dan juga Kingdom yang ada di sini. Ini buktinya, mana suaranya Kingdom dan Evos Fams. Kayaknya seru nih kalau Monica mau ngobrol-ngobrol dulu dengan para Kingdom dan juga Evos Fam di sini. Halo Kingdom, Evos Fam, apa kabarnya?
Halo. Halo Kak.
Wow, ini luar biasa sekali kita ngelihat kedua tim ini, Evos Fam, Kingdom berkumpul di sini memberikan semangat untuk tim kesayangannya. Tapi Monica mau nanya-nanya dulu dong ini ke Kingdom dulu deh. Ini kalian kan berada di posisi yang udah aman, udah secure playoff nih. Tapi kalian rindu gak sih buat ngeliat, nyaksiin lagi mungkin kayak golden eranya dari Derby Classic, ketemu lagi RRQ sama Evos di grand final?
Sebenarnya rindu banget sih Kak, biar kayak matchnya tuh kayak ada perlawanan gitu lah, biar seru. Jadi biar yang datang ke sini tuh nonton gak sia-sia gitu.
Biar ada perlawanan. Tapi tentunya itu harapan dari Kingdom. Tapi kita coba tanyain dulu nih. Evos Fam di samping Monica kayaknya dari tadi udah greget juga nih pengen ngomong. Kita juga pengen nih. Mau ngomong apa nih?
Kalau dibilang rindu ya rindu banget lah. Apalagi kita terakhir offline nonton itu grand final di season 4 kan. Itu satu tenis indoor itu full Evos Fam sama Kingdoms. Itu seru banget sih.
Seru banget, jadi ini jadi mengingat ingatan-ingatan keseruan itu ya. Yeah. Tapi kalau itu kan ingatan dari Evos Fam, ada lagi gak sih mungkin yang Derby Classic, pertarungan Derby Classic yang pokoknya itu selalu diingat banget tuh karena apa tuh spesialnya?
Soal di season 11 sih kita yang menang comeback lawan RRQ. Itu memorable banget sih.
Memorable banget dari season 11, sekarang udah season 14 ya. Siapa tahu kita bakalan ngelihat nanti di match kali ini. Tapi kayaknya ada yang kurang setuju nih. Kingdom. Okay. Gimana tuh? Apa yang mungkin kalian ingat dari Derby Classic?
Kalau Derby Classic paling kangen tuh pas M1. Soalnya itu pertama kalinya derby klasik itu muncul di kancah internasional. Jadi kangen banget euforianya gitu.
Tapi kalau ngomongin yang sekarang nih, kita kan bakalan ngelihat derby klasik lagi di regular season MPL Indonesia season 14. Ini leg kedua. Kalian harapannya pengen ngelihat apa sih dari derby klasik kali ini? Apa tuh, mau?
Kalau aku ya gimana ya, pengen semoga kedua timnya tuh memberikan pertandingan yang seru lah. Jadi biar gamenya tuh nggak kayak one sided gitu. Jadi biar derby klasiknya itu nambah hype lagi.
Biar nambah hype lagi. Jadi setuju dong ya sama Evos Fam biar ada comeback-comebackan gitu kali ya. Tapi gimana sih selain comeback-comebackan mungkin apa harapan dari Evos Fam kali ini? Biar mau ngelihatnya derby klasik kali ini tuh yang seperti apa sih?
Ini sih Evos ngasih game terbaiknya di hari ini dan ngasih perlawanan lah ke RRQ.
Ngasih perlawanan ke RRQ. Tapi kan sekarang nih ya Evos Glory lagi berusaha untuk bisa bangkit. Evos Fam nih apa yang buat Evos Fam tuh tetap semangat ngasih dukungan yang terbaik buat Evos Glory?
Kita harus berjuang bareng. Kita sedih bareng, senang pun harus bareng-bareng juga.
Oh, so sweet banget. Mana dong tepuk tangannya Evos Fam? Tapi tentunya juga ada yang ingin disampaikan gak sih dari Kingdom buat Evos Fam?
Kalau buat Evos Fam ya semangat aja lah. Karena season 13 juga kan kita ngerasain gimana saya struggle buat lolos playoff pun susah. Jadi ya semangat aja lah. Dan satu pesan gue untuk semua super fans, jangan pernah ninggalin tim kalian di saat tim kalian sedang terpuruk. Itu aja sih.
Itu intinya ya. Aduh, Kingdom ini bijak banget. Tapi kalau dari Evos Fam ada yang ingin disampaikan gak ke Kingdom sekaligus juga mungkin harapan untuk season ini?
Kalau buat Kingdom, kita ramein hari ini. Kita kasih yang terbaik dari masing-masing tim kita. Jangan ada toxic, rasis.
Wah, kalau untuk next season?
Next season nanti beda lagi. tetap respect satu sama lain, nggak ada toxic sama rasis, itu aja sih.
Wah, ini yang paling Monica suka kalau nonton Derby Classic Kingdom dan Evos Fam-nya. Begitu luar biasa. Kalau itu kan dari Evos Fam ya, tapi kalau dari Kingdom harapan untuk next season gimana? Karena kalau sekarang kan kita udah regular season minggu ke-7, bentar lagi playoff. Kita mau masuk ke season selanjutnya. Harapannya gimana tuh ke RRQ?
Kalau untuk RRQ ya tetap biar bisa ngasih perlawanan gitu. Biar semuanya tuh pokoknya biar derby klasik itu tetap angin seru lah buat next seasonnya.
Tapi kan Kingdom tadi mau ngomong ya season lalu sempat ngerasain juga apa yang dirasain Evos. Terus kayaknya udah pernah ngerasain gitu. Nah ngelihat perkembangan dari RRQ sekarang di season ini yang begitu luar biasa. Gimana sih menurut Kingdom?
Kalau dari aku pribadi sih seneng banget lah. Kayak dia berani ngambil resiko dengan ngemasukin 4 pemain berbeda dan nyisain 1 scalar itu out of the box banget sih. Dan hasilnya cukup positif sampai saat ini, alhamdulillah.
Out of the box banget, tapi Monica penasaran deh. Ketika kalian Kingdom tuh tahu ini line up-nya seperti ini, out of the box banget. Kalian tuh gimana sih responnya? Mungkin waktu itu kaget, terus gimana tuh?
Kalau dari aku sendiri, aku nggak mau naruh ekspektasi lebih. Yang penting tetap support mereka aja. Siapapun rosternya, kita akan selalu ada untuk mereka.
Akan selalu ada untuk mereka. Itulah Kingdom dan Evos Fam. Dan tanpa berlama-lama kita akan melihat kedua tim The Derby Classic di The Land of Dawn. Tapi yang akan mengantarkan ke The Land of Dawn adalah Kingdom dan Evos Fam. So, mana suaranya? Evos Fam dan Kingdom! Dan inilah The Derby Classic.
The battle of heaven and earth in our 23rd classical derby, ladies and gentlemen, between Evos Glory and RRQ. And here we are, and things couldn't be more different for both of these teams. But let's welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to the English broadcast for MPL ID Season 14. My name is Ytta, and alongside with me is Mirko, as well as Arashi. And here we are at the highlighted match of the day.
we got a banger match, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be the decider for RQ Hoshi. Not so much, but more so for Evos Glory. They're currently 1-10 in the regular season standings. One more loss, and they are done. No miracle run to be made at all for Evos if they lose here today against their worst rivals.
It's kind of poetic, and it's also kind of unfortunate for Evos as well that the decider match, you know, is a match of this magnitude against a team that's just doing so well right now. Literally the exact opposite side of the spectrum here compared to Evos. So we're gonna see the desperate attempts from Evos right here, because if there's anything left in the tank at all, it's gonna come out, it's gonna show right here, right now, or it's done, right? Say what you have and, you know, speak your piece, because forever hold it.
And I think even the fans in the building understand this, right? It looks like there's a lot more Kingdom supporters in the building as compared to the Evos fams at the moment. And like he mentioned earlier on, there are margins. It's literally decimals at this point of chance that Evos makes it to the playoffs. But it starts here.
It starts here indeed. Evos' hope in the King of Kings' hands. Certainly not ideal at all. We saw earlier, there's a lot of what ifs right now as we approach the latter stage of the season. But if Alter Ego lose, which is Dewa United, and then Alter Ego and Dewa United lose all of their matches, Evo still has some hope to the playoffs. Again, this is a lot of ifs, right? That also is if Alter Ego won against Dewa and RRQ wins against Evos. Wait a minute. Yeah, exactly. This would mean no playoff slot for Evos. Again, there's just so many factors at play, but it all begins right here to even see if there's even any continuation to the story of Evo Season 14.
Because, you know, hoping that Alter Ego and both Dewa United lose all their matches is quite tough. I mean, technically for Alter Ego, we talked a little bit about it before we entered match number 2. Their next being Onyx, TLID, RRQ. There was one more. I think it was Bigatron.
Yeah, Bigatron.
Well, so there is still hope there, but for Dewa United, with how uncertain they're playing, there is still a possibility that they could still win their next matches. But let's take a little, flashback into Evos so far. I don't know. When we talk about Evos Glory, where do we even begin?
We begin with the lane performances and the game plan, right? Those two things really stick out. We see Evos get winning lanes, but not really win in that lane or even have winning matchups and not really perform well on it. And you can see that when it comes down to those team fights, there's moments of plays as always, but for the most part, they haven't really found a lot of success in how they want to move together as a unit. Who targets who, what is their job description for each player? They don't really seem to have that, right? Everyone's kind of scrambling in to try and find something. And it seems like sometimes, even how they stand together, right? The formation, who is in the front, who is in the back, even that sometimes gets muddled in the midst of a chaotic team fight.
And it's concerning, right? Because even before they swapped in the lineup with Psychots coming in and so on and so forth, their gameplay was already a bit weird.
It was messy already. I wouldn't say it was messy. It was... Well, yeah,
Weird.
messy is a way to describe what they were, but that wasn't the only problem with them. They were passive when they needed to be active. They were aggressive when they needed to play with their lead. They were making all the wrong decisions in all the moments that they had a chance to win even, right? So it's really, really tough for Evos Glory, and the fact that they keep on just swapping rosters back and forth, trying it out with Depazet, Aleva, and Psychots, and then just right after that, we see Dreams come back in. I honestly have no idea what the strongest lineup is. They didn't even try Natko together with Depazet, Aleva, and Psychots just yet. It was always Brand, so I guess we'll ask the audience here. We'll have an audience topic voting.
The hope for Evos to reach the playoffs in RRQ's hands. What should Evos Glory do? It looks like 64% goes to pray.
Pray. Just
Have
pray.
faith.
Have faith. 14% like clock and play. 12% focus on objective composition. 8% improve mid to late game. So there you go. That's what you guys think. Pray.
Man, the focus on the prayer definitely is a big statement there from the audience. But we saw that they're also thinking that if Clockin comes in, there is some potential. Let's start here first though. The twin pillars here, starting with Idok, #1 kill per game in the roaming position. So one of the more aggressive ones. one of the reasons why RRQ is just doing so well. It's not just his aggression, but also how he's flexible, able to use a variety of different heroes actually to the benefit of his team.
And there are so many moments that even in leg number 1, when Evos had to lose 2-0, by the way, against RRQ, Ytta was the person that was able to really stifle everything that Evos threw at them. And coming into the second leg with so many changes, we might see a more brutal outcome, honestly, right? Because after the lineup swapped in for Evos, all the mistakes that were evident for Evos before became a lot more apparent, with the miscommunications, a lack of chemistry. And this is the other twin player. We have Rins from RQ.
Number 1 assist per game in the mid lane. Number 3 kill per game in the mid lane as well. And the league with a lot of standout mid laners. Rins, a new face in the mid lane, actually doing relatively good, very good even, for, you know, in the context of the experience gap between him and the rest of the mid laners. To name a few, Sans, Moreno, Aboy as well. Him being number, what was it, 4? Yeah, that's quite a big statement in its own right. So his connection with Ytta, I think, is something that is very hyped up already, but we have to highlight it yet again. The fact that they have so much synergy and such good communication between the roam and the mid lane. You're seeing even like earlier in the first match of today, in the beginning, it's always the roamer and the mid lane, the
That's
partners in crime, just duking it out.
It's just so impressive to me to see the players like Rins and Ytta. Honestly, they all came from the same team, right? Boss Q. It was Bunny QT as well with Gobs and King Gugun. So the fact that all of them have made it to the MPL in their own ways. Bunny last season, Rins and Ytta a bit late, but it's just really cool.
It is cool, but this is also really cool. We prepared something for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch it together.
Please welcome our new champion, Team Kill.
Kita sempat mau ngelanjutin berlima lagi tuh. Tiba-tiba si Bani dikontak di hierarki, kita bilang gini sama tim berlima itu. Kalau satu orang bubar, kita juga akan bubar.
Kalau menurut aku ya, dari tim Bosku juga yang memang dihuni sama Idok dan Rins ya.
Betul.
Selain memang dari King Gugun yang punya mekanik juga luar biasa, ini juga bisa di-enable.
Betul,
sama
betul.
porosnya 2 ini.
Yap.
Kalau bicara tentang chemistry, harusnya mereka udah nggak perlu khawatir lagi.
Dari awal banget tuh kita turnamen warkop. Sebelumnya aku udah punya tim bareng Gugun awalnya. Terus si Gugun ngajak turnamen di Medan. Cuman dia kurang tank sama Godland. Ya gua ajak Buni sama Ido.
Berangkat ke Medan itu ya beraniin diri karena udah dipercaya lah sama Gugun, sama Rins gitu, karena gue dulu global hero juga. Nah, waktu ada di turnamen Piala Wali Kota Medan. Ya, waktu itu pertama turnamen langsung ke Medan, langsung juara 1. Di situ ada tim scouting dari Tiger Wong itu. Ya, jadi kami satu tim ditarik lah ke Tiger Wong.
Awalnya kita sempat nolak, masih tier 3 lah itu. Belum MDL juga Tiger Wong. Cuman katanya kita coba dulu buat play-in MDL. Kalau lolos kita lanjutin di MDL katanya. Sempet tuh season 7 kita nggak lolos di play-in karena kita nggak bawa Gugun. Kita balik ke Aceh, terus season 8 udah mau mulai, itu kita di kontak lagi. Ya tapi itu udah langsung bareng Gugun. Soalnya season 7 kita nggak bareng Gugun. Karena season 7 si Gugun masih umur 15, karena MDL nggak bisa. Season 8 baru bisa, karena dia udah 16.
The king has fallen again. Sang penantang dari antah perantah. Please welcome our new champion, Team Kill.
Abis juara MDL season 8 itu kita sempat mau ngelanjutin berlima lagi tuh. Terus tiba-tiba si Bani dikontak di hierarki MPL langsung. Terus kita coba, kita bilang gini sama tim berlima itu. Kalau satu orang bubar, kita juga akan bubar. Bani udah di MPL, kita coba ikut trial MPL juga.
Tapi yang diterima cuma Buni sendiri. Jadi gua sama Rins tuh kayak ditawarin lah MDL. Ya udah gua bilang sama Rins ya coba kita coba satu season lagi lah di MDL, kalau mau main di MPL.
Wow, proyek pembangunan untuk landasan pertama mereka sudah sukses.
Karena porosnya ini, Rins dan Idok.
Yep.
Ini bener-bener yang ngehidupin banget gameplay dari Araki Hoshi.
Dua mid ya sejujurnya jago sih, Idok sama Rins. Connect terus, ide-idenya banyak banget, mereka responnya juga cepet. Mereka juga mainnya nggak template, nggak cuma yang kayak ngejawab-jawab doang.
Kalau yang gue lihat, Rins dan Idok tuh cocok lah, mereka kayak nyambung juga koneksinya. Terus kayak bukan dari kayak player-player yang baru naik langsung kayak ada yang grogi, ada yang gimana.
Kelihatan pesat banget sih hierarki sih pasti. Idok, Rins, kelihatan mentalnya udah kebentuk sih, Bos. Lawan siapapun nggak takut.
Kayak orang-orang bilang di MPL ya hype-nya lebih tinggi.
Kayak kena pressure tipis lah. Cuman dari kapten kita Skylar, dia ngerangkul gua.
Makanya Skylar tuh kayak ya, abang-abang kami semua lah, dia kayak pokoknya dia nggak beda-bedain kami.
Mungkin bondingnya kita kayak kemana-mana bareng. Abis itu malam-malam nonton Netflix bareng, ketawa bareng. Kayak kadang iseng-iseng kita beli topeng setan kan, kita kagetin gitu-gitu. Kayak ya siapa tahu kan ya membentuk chemistry dari situ, kan nggak ada yang tahu. Biar dia lebih dekat sama kita aja.
Nah, harapan gua ke depannya ya semoga bisa lebih improve dari ini lah. Semoga lebih bisa konsisten. Ya pokoknya improve bareng-bareng lah.
Harapan ke depan buat tim udah pasti yang pertama dulu lolos playoff dulu, ya baru incer upper sama juara.
It's been a wild journey for the twin pillars, Idok as well as Rins, and we gotta take a little sneak peek as to how far they've come to this point now being brought in for RRQ. And they are doing great, number one on the standings, newly accustomed to MPL. They found their success as new players as well back in MDL. So, man, is it possible that they could be our reps for M6?
I mean, at this point, I really hope so, right? On top of just having a lineup that's so good, they have the head to take on anyone in the drafts. Kescute and NMM, this is a complete lineup.
Dyron, Sutsujin, Rins, Idok, as well as Skylar. They could be legends at this point. Rex Regum Kaon finding so much success this season with the main five. Let's welcome them onto the stage.
Hear the drums of war. Ladies and gentlemen, the kings of kings are here. It's Rex Regum Kaon.
Looking to make their way into the upper brackets. Securing that upper bracket slot will be their main focus today. Playoffs secure, the first team to secure the playoffs. And now they need all the points that they can get to muster in that second life in the playoffs.
Going up against fierce competition in second and third place, RRQ are doing great, but they aim to be even greater. Not the time to be taking the foot off the gas pedal. They have to go even harder.
But on the other side, we have Evos Glory, Psychots, Annabelle Clock and Dreams, Natco. Again, another shakeup in their lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the Tigers are going all out. Nothing to lose at this point with this roster that they have. So let's welcome them onto the stage.
Desperately trying to survive, the limping Tigers will try one last time, looking up to the skies at the kings who have rebuilt their kingdom. It is now time for Evos to show their glory. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Evos Glory!
A wounded beast is the most dangerous one, and in Evos' case, wounded is a bit of an understatement. Let's see the final death rattle of Evos. Will it be enough to overcome the #1 team in the league right here? Try and keep the dream alive. Onto the stage comes our Marshal Dainang, along with Coach Age. Caleb setting up against Coach Kescute with NMM. The chess match begins. The mad scientist against the magician, you can call him. Finding ways to augment, to use the new patch to their advantage. What will we see today?
But this time, it's Evos Legends that are looking for a miracle. This time, it's Evos Legends that are looking for magic at this point. Number 9 on the standings. Like you mentioned, Arashi, going against the #1. Literally a battle between heaven and earth. This is something that we have not seen in the Classical Derby for quite some time as the rival showdown between Annabelle and Sutsujin.
Annabelle and Sutsujin both with great respect for each other. having very similar hero pools. We've heard them both speak in interviews about each other, saying that, hey, he's kind of like a role model, right? I look up to him and his performances, and I see what I can possibly learn from the guy whenever I see him on the stage, whenever I see him on the big screen. Now finally, head-to-head, Annabelle and Sutsujin. Certainly with the more unique hero, Sutsujin, we'll have to see if one of those more unique heroes make an appearance today, or will we go back to the Assassins where Annabelle, in theory, will have a bit more experience, a bit more aggression to use against Sutsujin today.
I don't think Annabelle has that experience though. I mean, when compared to Sutsujin, I think Sutsujin definitely has a bit more experience even on those assassins. The role model to Annabelle as well. When he made his debut in Season 10, able to carry the team with his Ling, but mainly also for the utility jungles. Now, Sutsujin, all they need to do is pretty simple. Araki Hoshi.
Play as usual, but always show respect. Do your thing, but make sure that you keep your eye open for those unexpected plays, those crazy moments. That is the keys to victory for RRQ by the Samsung Galaxy A55, A35, 5G. When you're that dominant, it's all about maintaining the consistency. And some people think it's simple, but as we always know, it's harder to stay on top than get to the top. And on the other side, the keys to victory for Evos. Natco, focus on the strong side of RRQ's objective. Chaos over Cascade, avoid structured fights and play more chaotic to bewilder RRQ. Prioritize, and it's all out of the acid, bro.
Oh, man.
Prioritize Annabelle's farming to become a leaky monster, stagger fights and engages to punish Crystal's aggressive plans, and Agi embracing the creative picks and be bold to secure the win. A whole bulk of keys to victories right here.
There are more. You just can't see it. It's going all the way down.
I'm seeing it through the screen.
We gotta scroll.
I can't scroll up, dude. It's through the screen. So many things to do for Evos, but at this point, it really feels like there's no way they could have fixed all of this in a night, in a couple of days. They have to pick and choose which aspect of their game plan they want to improve on the most. Let's see how that plays out, though.
What if? What if, though? What if this is the winning formula that the White Tigers have been looking for? Swapping out Depezet with Clockun. What else? Cyclops in the EXP lane. Bringing back Dreams. Annabelle in the jungle. What if?
Well, we gotta go back to the audience voting. They better pray that it is. Because it's fight or flight. It's all in or nothing. It's either they win here and have a chance at playoffs, still having to also depend on Alter Ego and Dewa to lose all their matches, or they lose here and it's done. The Tiger is down.
They went for second pick as well with a 18% win rate here, the home team Evos. If this is the winning formula, by the way, it doesn't mean that they have a guaranteed win against RRQ. Even at their best, we haven't any idea how good Evos can play here against, once again, the number one team in the standings right here. So they have to pray, they have to hope that everything, and I mean everything, goes well, goes in favor of Evos to really get a winning conclusion.
By the way, we got a fun fact here, ladies and gentlemen. Sutsujin, 2 times he failed to qualify to playoffs in Evos. And he has the chance to stop Evos to make it to the playoffs again. Damn. Sutsujin this time in RRQ. Oh, the cursed prince.
Destiny in the making here for Sutsujin to finally have a chance, a real chance at glory as he's always dreamed of. We'll have to see how it goes, man. Cascade looks confident, comfortable as ever, along with NMM. You really see that the players know what's at stake. They want to make sure that they keep everything in check here. It is, in theory, a winning game, but you never know.
Remember the caster POV last season for Bigatron? If Cascade smiles, they win the game. He's smiling. He's smiling real good now. He has a pretty good mood coming into this match.
That was a scowl, though. As you say that, Mirko, did you just curse it? Is the real question.
They're uncursable, man. Let's be honest here.
Stark contrast for Evil's glory. Meanwhile, Agi looks like he has a massive headache.
Oh, yeah.
And we get it, right? Drafting phase, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G, RRQ. Go with the Hayabusa band. We saw what the Hayabusa was able to do in the first match that we saw earlier on. It wasn't respected 2 times in a row, and it is still sitting at 100% win rate as of today. So RRQ go ahead out and ban it. They understand the potential that it has in the hands of Annabelle. Alongside with that is the Tigreal ban, as well as Evos going out of their way to eliminate the Edith as well as the Chip.
All right, Edith and the Chip away from RRQ, but for RRQ, banning away the Harriet and the Tigreal, that's interesting. The Hayabusa respect as well. You would think that they would be okay picking it up, but it seems like they want something else, something a bit different. Maybe one of the more mobile assassins. And for Evos, they might be willing to go for an assassin duel here with Annabelle against Sutsujin, with both the Fanny and the Ling still left open.
What I'm wondering is, Nolan technically had a buff, right?
Yeah, it's an adjustment in the weights. Damage-wise, you will be able to hit the fracture a bit better. But when it comes to mobility, you can get punished easier now, with the second skill cooldown being a lot more, I would say, compared to the old one. Even though it's just a 0.5, that 0.5 second delay does get you sometimes.
Okay, maybe that's why we haven't seen Nolan being a first pick hero.
First pick, I would say we haven't, so it might be a buff as well because it's not as contested any longer. But with that Mathilda first pick for RRQ, that's a bold statement. No real flex play coming in from Coach Keskut here. Evos against a prospect of agile, mobile players of RRQ, augmented by the guiding wind. What is their solution here? Crowd control must be in the picture somehow.
Your team is picked.
And it goes in the form of the Arlet. Right, the Arlet gets picked up here for the White Tigers alongside with the Ling for Annabelle. What do RRQ want to do with this information?
They could go Alpha in the jungle. That would be great with the Mathilda as well.
The game
offers a whole lot of team fighting. Whoa, they go Roger. Not too sure where this is going. Me and Rashi share the same opinion here with the Roger changes. It's very hard to pull him off in the gold lane. So I presume it's a jungle Roger and it's a Eve pickup for Rins.
Interesting. Usually we see Coach Keskut be one of the most elusive drafters, and now everything is on the table, save for the Roger. But in theory, this is a jungle Roger for Sutsujin to try and match that Ling in the clear speed in the early game aggression to probably take over the game. With the Eve picked as well, in theory it's a counter to the Tsushin if Evos want to go for it. But I gotta say, playing in that matchup myself, the Tsushin in the lane is just so peskily annoying. The fact that you don't use any mana using the Lantern Flare now unless you hit the hero means you can just leave it out there. So the laning becomes a bit of a problem, but with team coordination, it should be fine. And even in the team fights, the Tsushin might be weaker than ever actually.
And technically RRQ, if they have anything, it's team coordination, right? Valentina now picked up for Evos to close out this first phase, so it does even the playing field just a little bit with the Valentina being able to utilize her IMU for the real world manipulation.
Potential for both teams to just hit back with the big chunk of magic damage, but now range-wise, right? Having the Roger potentially in the jungle, the Mathilda and the Eve, we saw a similar pattern coming straight out of Dewa United just earlier today. They're going to be able to actually win in the poke battle, in the setup battle, unless, of course, this Arlet can find ways to engage reliably and unexpectedly against RRQ. So with that in mind, I feel like Evos will be trying to mitigate some of the bush opening type of heroes. The tanky heroes that can't be banned out, they can't be really bursted down. And for RRQ, I think they're going to try and maybe get away, deny some of these stronger laners, because that is something that Evos usually like using, but no, it's a Minotaur.
Pretty solid fan, the Minotaur. I think this is just pure respect towards Dreams. We know how good Dreams can be when he gets his heroes. The Minotaur and the Tigreal both banned away, and the Valentina pickup definitely does seem like they want to set up for Dreams with those kind of initiators. If it's not the Tigreal Minotaur, usually we see Edith for Dreams. That has been taken away by Evos. Do they want to go? That's tough though. I'm thinking, again, if we're thinking Dreams, the only thing left in the book is Franco Kaja. You really want to go Franco or Kaja. Kaja makes more sense against the Eve, right? The Franco though, with the Mathilda there, with so many ways to cancel, I'm not too sure.
I mean, there are other options. He's used the Jawhead before. Lolita, Kufra,
Not
Akai.
the best of his abilities, unfortunately. You know, right now the Ruby is still available as well for both these teams, and with assassins in the picture or semi-dive heroes like the Roger in the picture, the Ruby generally becomes such a prio pick for RRQ. They want to limit the defensive maneuvers of Evos a bit more to allow their players to just dive in the backline.
So let's see the pick here. The band, rather, Akaja. They're full.
Coach Kez, man.
They are shutting down Dreams in full. Minotaur Kaja as well as the Tigreal. What will Dreams pick up at this point?
If he goes for the Franco, there's still options for RRQ to just go straight for something like a Grok maybe, and just nullify all of the threat potential technically. Man, if you're in Evos' shoes, it's so difficult to really find something that kind of fits all the fits into this crazy puzzle. But it's gonna be the Claude. We've seen it do well just earlier, Mirko, but I think you still stay unconvinced.
No, not convinced at all. I think the Claude wins have come through very low games, and I think RRQ will prove that this Claude isn't really that big of a threat here in this meta. But what is going to go gold lane is my question here. I think the Ruby would be a pretty good choice. They can give Ruby over to Skylar perhaps if they want to. If the Roger does go jungle. I think again the Roger should be going jungle, but to go back to the Alter Ego Dewa match, I think the Roger can still win against the Claude. It's just a matter of execution in that lane. And we get to see it in the jungle or gold. It is.
What?
Huh? Coach Kez, what are you cooking?
Oh man, just yesterday I think I was asking you about the Sicilian, Mirko. How with some of the buffs with the mana stacking addition, right?
It's gold. Gold Sicilian.
Oh my. Oh wow.
But there's so much dive from Evos. Right? You have the
Sicilian,
Ling, you have Claude, and then you have the Arlet.
You have a lot of sustain on the Sicilian. Something that's very underrated about this pick is the Bat Feast. When you use the ultimate, you do actually have quite a bit to play with. And look at this comp. They have so much peel. With the Khalid too.
Even with the Khalid and even the Guiding Wind, there's so many ways to kind of dash out. And Evos, they settle back for the Ling-Angela combo. But Cascute, what did you just cook up? The Khalid finally back after a long period of time. Dyron, this is a hero that really suits his playstyle, man. He likes these dive-in aggressive heroes.
It's a very aggressive comp from RRQ. Sicilian versus the Claude in the gold lane, though. What is that matchup going to look like?
That's a win for Sicilian. All Sicilian needs to do is just farm up and pull. By the way, shoutouts to Mr. Kaon in the building, RRQ's team owner.
Wow, he actually came through, wanting to support his team here in the Chaos Derby, in the Classical Derby, but it is full of chaos, though.
Yeah, the chaotic Classical Derby right here. Evos and RRQ. Counter index and lineup rating favors Evos, but when Cascute is in the picture, the trickster Cascute might just skew those odds in weird ways.
Heaven and Earth, the battle in the Classical Derby. Ladies and gentlemen.
Gelap ke dalam tidak lolos babak playoff Song April Arena. Mana tepuk tangannya? Let's go to lean up down.
Kesempatan masih ada, tapi memang harus dimanfaatkan oleh Evos Glory. Dan lihat bagaimana RRQ Hoshi bermain dengan agresif. RRQ Hoshi just being RRQ Hoshi di season ini.
Iya, dan mereka bermain hampir sama konsepnya dengan Alice ya. Bermain dengan waktu juga. Karena untuk Sicilian sendiri ini hero yang kalau sudah punya item kita tahu sangat sulit untuk bisa di pick off. Dan punya damage yang potentially bisa langsung burst satu hero instant.
Rapture Bergen Hunter untuk Sicilian.
Wah, dan bahkan kalau misalnya kita lihat di sini kondisinya adalah di mana Dyron dia menggunakan hero powernya zaman dulu banget.
Zaman dia Rebellion ya?
Iya, zaman dia masih di Rebellion awal-awal. Dia bersinar ya karena hero ini.
Khalid.
DJ Khalid on the floor.
Iya. Dikala yang lain lagi gak pakai Khalid, dia pakai sendirian tuh.
Iya.
Iya. Dan memang ya impactful juga untuk Khalid buat si Dyron. Dan Khalid ya kita bisa bilang untuk di early-nya ya, apalagi untuk team fight di turtle. Biasanya carinya bukan turtle setup-nya, tapi lebih ke setup untuk pick off satu dulu. Sebelum mereka akan kontes di turtle.
Dan juga kombonya ngeri sih nanti sama Yif ya kan. Dibuka, dibikin kelilipan sama pasir ya. Tapi dia debut pick ya untuk Dyron di season ini dengan Khalidnya dan Sicilian Gold Lane.
Untuk Skylar, tapi thanks to Cascute ya.
memberikan warna baru dan ini adalah pick yang agak cukup riskan tapi high risk high return. Dan kita bakal lihat dengan adanya RRQ berada di posisi yang atas sebenarnya dia udah aman ke babak playoff. Tapi ingat, mungkin mencoba sesuatu di sini adalah keputusan yang tepat ketika dia sudah mengamankan babak playoff, cuma upper bracket belum secure.
Dan juga lihat dong, first item buat Sicilian elegant jam ya.
Udah pasti dia.
Udah enak
Skip
banget.
boots ya.
Oh yang penting ada Clock of Destiny.
Ya.
Udah maksimal.
Dan coba lagi kita lihat di sini kondisi Anafel mencoba melakukan takeover dengan retribution takeover from Anafel dengan adanya Harapan mencoba dirasuki Susuchin. Kali ini kalah retributionnya sang idol. Kali ini harus tunduk di turtle yang pertama, tapi ini belum apa-apa karena game masih panjang. Dan Natko kalau bisa ngeredam gameplay Skylar dari early, ini menjadi sebuah makanan nikmat untuk Anafel.
Cloud
Oke, Cloud bakal coba dipaksa depan sana, Flick setelah dikeluarkan, mundur ke belakang dengan adanya Dairen. Bakal coba disambangi oleh seorang Anafel, tapi kalau Anafel masuk lebih dalam itu adalah trapping karena Sutsujin sudah standby on position.
Yap, itu modal awal sih untuk Evos Glory ya, bisa dapetin bagaimana keunggulan di early game-nya juga, tapi mulai di trade. Dia ada pencurian-pencurian di arah jungle yang dilakukan oleh Sutsujin.
Yap, dan bahkan ini Anafel yang tertekan ya secara level juga, dia nggak bisa lebih unggul.
Wow! All talents Indonesia, Inggris, Mirko, Eterna, Arashi, 6 talent menuju ke arah Araki Hoshi. Wow, kalau saya tadi memang menuju ke arah Dewa seorang diri, tapi ini based on data. Apa yang kita punya based on data?
Yap. Tapi inilah yang tidak dimiliki oleh data ya.
Yes, dan
munculnya Sicilian di gold lane.
Dan ini ingat, untuk Evos dan Evos mereka harus membuktikan dan menampar 6 caster yang sedang bertugas.
Harus.
Karena itu adalah salah satu pembuktian. Dan bahkan Tyron tidak masuk lane, bahkan coba dihajar ke final slash. Berhasil mendapatkan satu mobile kill, tapi nampaknya Tyron still survive. Tidak dapat tahu flat. Sutsujin membalikan kembali kanan, tapi nampaknya Cyclone masih terlalu kuat dan membalikan kembali. Sosok Tyron menjadi point kill dan first blood di tangan dari Cloud. Yang tadinya Darren udah survive, yang tadinya Darren menjadi target utama, sempat balik lagi tapi ternyata tetap dia adalah mangsa utamanya.
Iya, dan cukup panjang ya untuk fight-nya juga. Bagaimana Angela lagi-lagi ini memperkuat.
Wah, bakal coba dibalaskan. Dengan Cloud first blood-nya dia gak akan lama. Dan bahkan Awa first blood yang tadi didapatkan Cloud diambil oleh Skylar sang god laner.
Yap, itu dia. Akan membuat nantinya hero scaling itu bisa cukup bersinar nantinya di arah mid game.
Yap, dan pemilihan untuk Matilda sendiri akan membuat lebih sustain ya.
Yap.
Sicilian yang hanya bisa berjalan kaki juga. Dan tim fight untuk di turtle yang kedua. Tadi turtle yang pertama, oke Hoshi kecolongan. Turtle yang kedua, mereka berusaha untuk menjauhkan pemain Evos.
Dan bahkan di sana Anafel bakal coba dihajar. Retribution! Anafel lagi! 2 turtle di dalam pressure yang diberikan membuat tim Evos Glory. Mereka 2 turtle tanpa terhentikan oleh Sutsujin. Yang kita tahu Sutsujin adalah salah satu power of retribution yang sampai dia berada di klasemen yang pertama. Akhirnya ada sosok yang bisa membuat dia menelan ludah.
Tertampar 2 kali ya dengan adanya stealing terhadap Turtle. Tapi memang gak ada juga yang bisa menghentikan. Stopper pasti bagaimana Anafel ini untuk, ya dia gak bisa free untuk bisa melakukan retribution.
Benar, mau cari dari awal Om.
Ya,
sebelum masuk ke pit turtle dia udah dicari.
Benar, selama masih ada Tempest of Blade, itu retribution jelas masih bisa dipencet juga nanti. Dan tapi untuk di bagian topnya sih aku bisa bilang Cecil dari Gold Lane ini masih cukup berhasil ya untuk Arki Hoshi. Belum terpick off sama sekali.
Oke, 13%. Dari audience prediction tetap ya harapan itu masih ada. Apalagi
ada.
ini masih Evos Glory sangat-sangat melawan loh. 2 turtle jadi modal banget untuk mereka.
Melawan apa bahkan bisa kita bilang, lihat mereka coba udah mid control loh. Dan ini kondisinya adalah dengan adanya Natko di arah mid to the late game yang baru bersinar. Beserta jajarannya. Sungguh rindu dengan Pak Riki yang langsung hadir ke Etal Arena. Tapi sebelum itu kita lihat menyaksikan di arah top lane akan ada pertarungan yang sangat luar biasa di mana Idok melakukan dive in dengan Natko dengan adanya flash of the Oasis, tapi Anafel standby on position melakukan covering up di arah top lane. Ini menandakan luar biasa lebih Dairen. Ready for defensive. At least dia nggak tumbang ketika adanya turtle walaupun tidak adanya ready.
Dibalikin.
Dibalikin menuju ke arah Cyclops. Damage terlalu sakit dari sosok seorang Skylar yang terlalu jauh di depan sana tidak terbendung. Mereka nggak boleh bermain front to back. Sekali lagi mereka nggak boleh bermain front to back. Mereka harus bermain pick over dan drift. terlalu sakit untuk bisa menanti yang bisa diberikan dari seorang Tyrant. Anavel bakal coba ditabrak, menuju ke arah belakang. Dia bisa diberikan, Anavel tapi soal teman Retribution. Berhasil di take over oleh Sucin. Membalikan kembali keadaan yang sudah dipegang seorang Anavel. Akhirnya mundur, Ujin. Kali ini The Curse Prince tidak mau kalah, tidak mau perfect turtle.
Yes, tidak akan diberikan perfect turtle, tapi Natko ini cukup free. Natko dapetin alter turret di arah bawah, Om.
Oke, meskipun memang dia free ya, cuman objektif yang didapatkan RQ tadi itu cukup penting untuk mereka. Karena selain daripada dapetin turtle-nya, mereka bisa dapetin top turret-nya. Dan ini akan membuat Skylar akhirnya sudah mulai join buat team fight. Karena melihat item buat Skylar, Lightning
full mana?
Truncheon.
Full mana Om? Ini full mana semua?
Iya, cooldown juga 10% ya. Jadi udah 20% total cooldown untuk Skylar.
Oke, dan bahkan kalau bisa kita menyaksikan di sini, lihat Sikar ini bencana mencegah seorang Tyrant. Tamparannya keras mencegah seorang Natko. Dreams, 2 kali tampar ini akan bisa membuat dia tumbang di depan sana Skylar. Dengan real world manipulation, imitasi yang membuat para pasukan dari tim Evos mereka masih mempertahankan di selain mereka. Riznya, flicker for defensive, second final slash for nothing. Dan blazing from Natko, gagal didapatkan karena Sucin. Lakan Pulse, berhasil mengejarkan Sucin di depan sana. Lihat serigala berbulu domba, The Curse Prince Sucin. Bahkan di sini membuat para pasukan dari tim Evos porak-poranda di arah mid lane. Ingat, kenapa RRQ sangat insist untuk mid lane-nya? Karena mereka butuh vision di purple buff.
Dan lihat bagaimana ketenangan dari Rins.
Betul.
Dia ditabrak berkali-kali, dia flicker dan akhirnya ada manipulation. Mengembalikan keadaan dan membuat akhirnya fight bisa dimenangkan oleh RRQ Hoshi dan bahkan gak berhenti. Skylar memiliki purple buff.
Wow, Skylar punya purple buff. Dan tentunya MPLID Extremer dari Evos, Yupi. Halo Yupi. Wah, ini BA Evos Fems ya. Merindukan Yupi di MPL Arena tapi dia harus mengawal dari jauh.
Dari jauh, nonton bareng dulu ya. Nah kalian bisa langsung kunjungi channel official streamer MPLID. Halo.
Nah itu ya. Emang wanita itu susah ditebak, dari bengong, dari bingung, dari kalah team fight jadi senyum gitu loh.
Karena pasti tegang dong.
Tegang banget.
Ini udah dalam keadaan tertinggal soalnya Evos Glory Om sekarang.
Ya, dari sisi point kill gak terlalu besar ya sebenarnya. Cuma kalau kita lihat cukup intens untuk team fight yang terjadi secara terus menerus. Karena continuous. Kayak mereka bisa back and forth juga, bagaimana mereka bisa main kiting satu sama lain. Tapi untuk akhirnya di mana pemenangnya adalah yang bisa memberikan damage besar tadi. Seperti misalnya hanteman dari Sanguine Claw dan juga Bad Impact itu berasa banget dan damage yang sudah diberikan udah terlalu besar sebenarnya.
Gila Dairen ya. Dari tadi tuh sebenarnya kalau kalian sadar Dairen itu yang ngebuka semua vision. Dairen yang coba nabrak semua. Dairen yang ngasih badannya dari tadi.
Ya dan targeting dari Evos Glory mereka cukup dilema sekarang. Mau ke Skylar kah? Mau ke Sucin kah? Atau Dairen yang ganggu? Banyak banget PR-nya.
Dan ya masih ada Rins juga sebenarnya, meskipun damage-nya gak terlalu besar ya.
Holy Crystal.
Cuma efek slow-nya dia.
Dia menuju ke Holy Crystal. Dan ketika Holy Crystal ini jadi, ini berbahaya banget untuk Anavel DKK.
Ya, karena cuma item defense-nya ya, yang buat Evos ini baru di Psychot, itu pun masih silent stroke.
Oke, tapi nampaknya dengan kondisi dari sosok seorang Susujin yang fokus dengan retribution-nya, mereka nggak peduli, mereka tahu ketika tidak diadu retribution-nya ini akan berbahaya. Anavel akan punya power, walaupun Lord didapatkan oleh RRQ, power split musuh masih tinggi.
Holy Crystal-nya selesai.
Wah nyala.
Di menit ke-10, 3 item untuk Skylar.
Tapi nampaknya di sana dengan kondisi dari Skylar dan kawan-kawan yang terlalu banyak targeting, seperti kata Omawa dan juga Aul, apa yang mereka harus lakukan ya Omawa dan Aul?
Buat Evos masih dengan split push ya, mereka punya Link Angela. Jelas kalau mau cari team fight untuk di awal seperti ini, paling dengan kalah item, mereka gak bakal bisa menang. Mau gak mau ya coba untuk main pick up di belakang, tapi agak sulitnya adalah karena ada Matilda sekarang. Idok kalau memang bisa didapetin di early, akan bagus untuk Evos. Mereka harus bisa matikan pergerakan hero yang bisa menyelamatkan temannya dulu nih. Si RRQ-nya.
Matilda ya.
Matilda.
Miskalkulasi nantinya soalnya bakal ada Kating Power juga. Sementara dengan adanya Rins selesai dengan satu buah Ice Queen One.
Wah ini juga
akan
nih.
megangin banget ya.
Betul. Udah ada Holy Crystal tadi. Terus ada Ice Queen One juga.
Makin.
Oke, Tyron. Masa tim fight Terra Soulfling. Dengan flicker sudah dimiliki, tapi dengan pogging damage jika seorang Kalkun tidak bisa dibentuk dan Natko. Blazing telah dikeluarkan, satu momen sama dengan seorang Tyron. Seven Soul Flame for offensive Tyron. Di sana berhasil memancing Harka, tapi nampaknya Skylar. Tamparan maut from Skylar. Lihat tertampar kenyataan membuat para pasukan dari tim Evos. Bahkan Natko terperangkap di depan sana. Satu tamparan terakhir dari seorang Ido mengejar ke arah seorang Natko. Bahkan coba kita dalam tamparan dari Skylar. Lagi-lagi berhasil mendapatkan 3 point kill. Hampir. Dan lasit from Idok, lihat. Itu tamparan yang sangat keras. Tertampar dengan damage yang sangat berat. Membuat sosok dari Natko bakal hilang.
Dan selain targeting untuk musuh, targeting temen juga bingung. Dari Dreams, dia mau coba untuk kemana? Mau backup Natko selamat, tapi Anavelnya enggak.
Yap. Dan ini selalu diambil ya, purple buff yang jatuh ke tangan Skylar juga akan membuat dia bisa nge-spam terus-terusan.
Wah, semakin ngeri sih.
Semakin ya, apalagi ini di early game. Dan kita tahu Cecilion biasanya adalah hero late game. Ini dengan menit 12.
Divine Glaive udah selesai.
Wah, udah selesai juga buat Divine Glaive. 4 item selesai
Dan
buat Cecilion.
kalau terakhir Winter Crown, wah ini bahaya banget sih. Itu bakal benar-benar membuat Skylar benar-benar perkasa depan satu api trend. Di manipulation for defensive. Dia tampar dari seorang Skylar. Berhasil menampakkan Evos secara belakang dan bakal para-poranda. Blast unit for nothing. Terperangkap terpesan Anavel versus everybody dengan 7 top lane-nya.
Mana sih ini MPL? Ini malah nonton di Indo.
But the Tigers, wounded, limping, are still able to survive.
Yeah, RRQ, they're too low at this point, right? Oh no!
Blazing the wet from Natko! Getting the shutdown now on the Tyrant, who is still able to sustain back up. It is only a 3-kill bounty that Natko picked up, but finally, he gets a kill on Skylar.
That RRQ
Lumayan terlambat untuk datang.
Yap, dan juga tadi yang majunya Skylar sebenarnya tadi ya.
Yep.
Yang berusaha untuk nge-backupin teman-teman yang lain. Dan ya game fact by GoPay kita di mana Khalid merupakan salah satu hero power. Untuk Darren sejak debut di RBL dengan 8 kali pick. 75%.
Dan dia naik daun karena hero ini.
Betul.
Darren outplay yang dia lakukan berkali-kali dengan hero ini selama dia berada di RBL.
Yap, pada saat itu ya. Alright, tapi bergerak lagi kali ini Hierarchy Hoshi. Mereka akan coba untuk mereset. Mencoba untuk mundur saja, men-setup ulang karena upaya tadi mereka hampir aja bisa menjadi blunder yang bisa dimanfaatkan oleh Evos Glory.
Tapi aku suka Darren adalah dia seakan sebagai raja yang terlupakan. Sempat turun ke MDL tapi dia membuktikan lagi berada di MPL. Walaupun sebelum dia turun ke MBDL, dia pernah menahan base RRQ Hoshi waktu itu. Terislanya.
Itu di season 11.
Iya seakan jadi raja yang terlupakan tapi memang waktu itu dia tidak bisa bohong. Akhirnya dia diberikan kesempatan full menjadi punggawa utama dari Hierarchy Hoshi.
Tapi Skylar,
ya.
Winter Crown buat Skylar.
Udah selesai?
Udah selesai, ini udah aman banget buat Skylar. Kayak udah bisa terbang pakai Gunning Wind.
Gak
ada
peduli,
Winter Crown juga.
Gak peduli di Blazing Duet.
Gak peduli semuanya. Dan ya full item untuk Suksujin. Blood Wings buat Ido. Des ya buat Soul Blue.
Karena ada bakat, oh my god, Tyrant! Flicker Raging Sestro! Mencoba untuk memporak-porandakan para pasukan dari tim Evos. Tapi sayang sekali Natko blast from Natko. Winter Crown save the day for this time. Dibalikin kembali kanannya. Natko berhasil duet. Lock yang didapatkan Susuchin. Dan Sescott. Flicker power defensive. Membawa Star Skylar. Pada saat dikeluarkan tapi lihat tamparan dari Skylar. Berhasil memundurkan Evos walaupun mereka harus kehilangan Ido.
Yep. Dan Lordnya udah langsung jalan. Lordnya udah langsung spawn di arah tengah tapi masih ada base turret. Untuk defensif dari Evos Glory. Dan setup seperti apa? Defensif yang bisa dilakukan oleh Evos Glory.
Nah, Evos ya jelas Final Slash seperti tadi sih yang dicari dengan mereka ya tadi. Karena satu Final Slash mengubah segalanya juga.
Oke. Tapi lihat di sini para pasukan dari tim Evos Glory memasang ke arah backline. Target utama mereka adalah Star Skylar. Anavel dengan Rinsya. Tidak ada lagi dengan Winter Crown. Satu bomba kill akhirnya mereka dapatkan. Tapi Sarikos harus hilang. Dia akan berikan mundur seorang Anavel. Berhasil melakukan triple kill. Dan Natko blend in duetnya for nothing. Kehilangan 4 pemain. Tersisa Cloud. Ini bencana. Wipeout. Sang Raja. Dengan line up terbaru. Unique Big Hero. Berhasil mengamankan game yang pertama.
Wow. Dan ini dia Sang Raja. Masih coba untuk mempertahankan tahtanya. Target playoff sudah didapatkan. Apakah upper bracket di depan mata karena melihat dengan adanya satu buah unique pick. Cecilion Gold Lane yang menjadi juga damager tertinggi kali ini ditunjukkan dan mengacak-ngacak Evos Glory.
Ya kalau ngelihat habis patch yang kemarin aku cukup sedih buat para marksman. Karena posisi mereka sudah mulai digantikan dengan mates yang sudah tampaknya bertebaran ya. Setelah kita melihat hari kemarin Alice yang muncul, hari ini kita melihat Cecilian yang juga muncul. Cecilian, Alice ditaruh di gold lane lebih cepat untuk menyelesaikan itemnya. Dan tadi prematur Cecilian yang terjadi. Full damage sekali tarik dengan sanguine claw, bad impact. Damage yang masif.
Masif banget sih dan bahkan tadi itemnya udah terlalu cepat untuk selesai ya. Ya udah bahkan Divine nge Winter Crown. Oke awal-awal dia sempat kena Blazing Duet. Tapi setelah selesai Winter Crown, super aman. Bisa delivering damage secara optimal dan membuat RRQ Hoshi. Membuat harusnya ada senyuman nih di wajah Pak Riki ini ya. Karena kita akan melihat juga bagaimana dari game momennya.
Yes. Dan bahkan kita melihat dengan banyak hero yang bisa ngediving karena belakang Skylar masih tidak tersentuh. Kondisi damage yang terlalu sakit diberikan. Dan target utama Anaf.
Nah itu aku nggak nonton sih. Ya kan Alice kemungkinan inilah jungler lah. Jungler lah. Enggak lah, kalau Alice inilah hyper lah perkiraannya.
I believe. And even then, even when they lost a couple of members to the pickoffs, they were able to keep up in gold, man. That efficiency in movement is just insane coming into RRQ. And like I said, even when things don't go according to plan, it's like they know what to do when it happens. You know, the plan Bs, the backups are always ready at a moment's notice. And the ultimate win condition, that is Skylar. So as long as they go for the turtles, they're A-okay. Skylar is on a Sicilian. He's going to continue to scale. You get all your turtles, no problem. As long as we trade it for Sicilian getting stacks, getting the Holy Crystal at 10 minutes, I think RQ will be happy.
Man, like even before the Holy Crystal, he was already dealing that much burst damage. On top of the Holy Crystal and then Divine Glaive.
Yeah.
What? Oh man, like that was brutal.
It's the London Truncheon, man. It gives more damage, more burst according to how much more mana you have. So even the Clock of Destiny was quote-unquote nerfed. It now gives 400 mana instead of 800. And still, it does not matter, man. When the execution is that good, and you can see when the zoning is just so good. There are moments like this where the fight isn't a fight. It's just RRQ taking pot shots, and it still looks dangerous for the side of Evos. But when Evos make the play happen, it's decisive. But look at the response immediately. This was absolutely chaotic as per the win conditions for the side of Evos, right? Make sure that the approach wasn't systematic. Make sure it's chaotic where Annabelle maybe can get moments. But look at that. Dyrant immediately matches it up. And for RRQ, they're just comfortable being in this spot. They're not a team that requires that slow, methodical gameplay to succeed.
Dyron, man. Shout out to Dyron. This guy all the way from Rebellion, we all saw his potential. We all saw how good he could be. On every pick, the Benedetta, the Paquito, the Khalid, and this season, we were already talking about him. Okay, he's taken a step back with the enablers, Terizla, playing the Arlets, and then finally goes back to the Khalid. But shout out to Sutsujin here.
Player of the game, ladies and gentlemen, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G. And I gotta say, earlier on we saw the twin pillar assets. But at this point, can we just say that they're all pillars? The 5 pillars of RRQ? Because, again, you were highlighting Dyron. There's a point to be made for Dyron. Sutsujin was also doing so much for his team. Literally everyone was doing their job perfectly, I would say.
That's why it's just such a menacing team to go up against. There is no tip of the spear. All 5 members can perform as necessary. This is not a one-dimensional weapon we're looking at. It's more like a Swiss military knife with all the attachments as per necessary. Let's take a look at the player of the game highlights here by our official gold partner, Ube as Gold, where earlier we saw the sustain coming in, the mobility from the Ling. Was a big problem for RRQ. They were losing out in the initiative. They're always one step behind. You're seeing Rinse arrive to the party is quite a bit much later compared to everyone else. But look at that damage, man. Dreams almost gets picked up. There's questions to be answered as well of why Dreams was so far ahead. But look at this dive attempt from the side of Evos. Everyone comes in all the way together, but Tyron and Sutsujin once again makes the plays happen and make sure that it doesn't go unpunished. And here is the other play where Annabelle gets to the back line. Skylar way too close to actually land a bad impact in a tough spot, but reads the movement, reads the patterns coming in from Annabelle. So it's not just a linear performance. They're still considering, thinking about potential plays. And look at that. It didn't amount to a lot of moments there. It does guarantee the Lord for the set of RRQ, but when your EXP lane dares to make plays like that, your opponents are forced to just respect it. They have no idea when the next Raging Sandstorm Flicker play might just happen out of nowhere.
Because you think you're safe, right? In terms of that range, but you're not. Look at that.
Right here, they're going for Rins, and they did get Rins, but again, with two mages, and especially with the cleanup crew, Sutsujin staying alive, outputting the damage, being the executor, there's just too many problems. Evos, if they really wanted to take out this team, I mean, they really should have maybe focused more on that gold lane, right? The fact that they picked a scaling gold lane themselves, I feel like they really could have maybe made more plays in that direction. But man, with the pressure from Araki Hoshi, man, with the fact that Taiwan was just all across the map, abusing the passive, the extra movement speed when you're near the walls on that Khalid, it's just such a well-played composition from Araki Hoshi. And in theory, if you saw this in ranked, you'd be like, really? What is this?
Definitely, because you wouldn't have the same players, the same level of quality executing this game plan, right? If this was a ranked game, like ranked players, yeah, they would definitely not be able to execute this game plan at all. The Sicilian will probably be 0-7 by the end of the game.
Especially with the aggression in the lane. Skylar did a great job just weathering the storm. There is outplay potential, countering the Blazing Duet with the Bad Feast, technically, because you can sustain back up. But still, it's still a pretty rough lane considering the threat coming in from the Angela, right? The global presence, which is why you did see Araki struggle a bit. But even in the mid game, we have to talk again about that one retribution contest between Sutsujin and Annabelle, where you guys were mentioning that Sutsujin was actually a level below and was able to actually get the retribution win. That's just crazy, man. There's
and at that point, Annabelle was mid Tempest of Blaze.
So there was no pressure. He wasn't really stunned up.
Exactly. You would think that he should have gotten that retribution down. I don't know. Was it nerves maybe? Pressure?
I mean, he did dive alone against 4 members, right? So the odds were against him. Even though he had the lead in retri, didn't have the lead in setup. Meanwhile, in a lot of the other turtles, at least some of the players were there to try to back him up, to try to help him.
And by all means, the Roger is a jungler with a max missing HP, extra damage on the kit. So in theory, it's a great hero to really contest in these neutral objectives. And to top it off, if there's good coordination from the team for RRQ, they can time it with a bad impact or with a void blast. And that's a lot of damage to consider. Because Annabelle, yes, he's flying with the Tempest of Blades, but he can't really add any more damage to combo with that retribution. So it's a lot more difficult to really get a guaranteed retribution, quote-unquote, steal.
And one of the weaknesses of a Sicilian, I would honestly say, is escape. Sure, you have the Bad Feast, it does give you a little bit more movement speed, and of course, the sustain, but you can't dash out like a Valentina, let's say. Right? And so the addition of the Matilda...
Exactly. We're all on the same page on that.
So brilliant, so impossible for anyone to try and take Skylar out in the back line.
I think there's a pattern though now, right? Whenever Cascade picks a Matilda, expect something crazy. We saw the Ixia against TLID? No. Who was it? Onyx against Onyx, game 2. Fnatic Onyx, game 2. And then now we see the Sicilian in the gold lane. So expect something crazy when Mr. Kez of House Cute picks up Matilda.
Yeah, don't ask me history stuff because I don't have the memory like a Samsung phone.
Oh, unfortunate,
right?
Only certain people have the memory of a Samsung phone, especially the Galaxy A series, because it's so good, it doesn't just have good memory. It doesn't just have good memory, it has good predictions.
Oh,
you can try to scan or take a picture, Rashi, of the venue, and ask it, circle the match, ask it who's going to win.
Oh, let's do something simpler here, right?
Okay,
we go...
okay. Maybe that's a bit too complicated.
Well,
For Rashi,
there's
right?
privacy,
Not for the
there's
phone.
people
Not
here.
for the phone.
No,
Not
the
for the phone.
phone's got it, right? So we put whatever you want Right?
Okay.
We've demonstrated this before, right? But just
Okay.
one more
Rashi,
time
how can you
for
see?
you guys back at home.
You don't have glasses on.
I got the Samsung camera, bro.
Whoa.
Augmented vision. But you get a photo,
Okay.
right?
Took a picture of the
So-
glasses. Show
very
it.
simple
Okay.
photo. I
Zoom
can't
in,
tell.
guys. That's actually the picture of the glasses that he took. just
And you
now.
Okay.
set up that menu to
I will
set
verify.
up. You set up that Samsung circle to search. You circle the object.
Okay.
And
What if you make a rectangle?
that
over
works
it?
too. Whatever
Okay.
you can connect. But like that, just like that, the results
Ooh.
come up.
Wow.
Glasses.
At the same time.
What? That's how much your glasses cost?
If you're a fashion, we don't talk about that.
24 million rupiah?
That is not correct.
Whoa,
That is not
Arashi,
correct.
ballin'. Hey, with that kind of money, you can afford this package.
My point is, if you're a
You
fashion
can buy one
person,
for me.
You can buy one for all of us.
I mean, you guys like fashion, right? Mirko and
Oh,
Trina
yeah.
are fashionable people.
Thank you.
When you see your friend with a new cool drip, and you're like, man, what is that? And they're like, I can't tell you, bro. It's my secret drip. Now you take a picture, you circle them.
Damn, that's
boom,
true.
The shirt comes up, the pants comes up. You
Oh,
can't keep secrets from the Samsung Galaxy AI.
no secrets. You are not safe.
Who am I talking to?
You want to put it back on?
Yeah.
Can you find it? Okay. Yeah, it's there. Okay, great.
Rashi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a vision thing. I thought
It's
it was
a
like
vision
thing.
thing.
It's a vision
Oh,
thing. It's
okay.
not
I
an
wasn't-
overall thing.
I wasn't
okay.
disconnected or anything. Hey?
No,
I'm
I
still
just
waiting
gotta
on my
check.
package.
I gotta check because. What's up? Glasses are on. You can see now.
Yeah.
What's this?
I can see colors now.
What's this? That's 2. What is this?
That's 0?
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta check, because sometimes with the Samsung Galaxy AI, you can hear colors, man.
Wait, really?
You can see sounds.
What's this?
I have no idea.
No, I just wanted to test it out, you know? Come on.
I'm not the AI, bro.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
saying the
all this
AI.
time you were the one in the phone.
No, I'm in the phone.
Yeah, you know like how Mr. Man, Tony Stark has like Jarvis. I thought the
All
Samsung AI
right.
is Rashi. And this is Sheffin and Gatot Kacha.
The lemon flavor. To make sure that your match doesn't become a mess due to dandruff and itchiness. Move on the head and shoulders. Lemon fresh gatot kacha.
That's fresh.
That lemon flavor, as Goni likes to say it, man. It's
Fresh lemon.
so good. 100% dandruff and itchiness wiped out. And it doesn't just wipe it out, it protects you afterwards from that itchiness too.
It protects you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Just like Gatot Kacha in game was
Avatar of the Guardian.
Boom.
Imagine that whenever you put the shampoo in your hair, right?
Whoa.
It's just the Gatot Kacha
Bam.
coming down and then beating all of the dandruff and itchiness and the bad stuff away from your hair.
That's
The
actually
Tiger
quite a
just
cool visual.
implosion, and then the electrifying Eudora too. It's actually now I know why they chose these characters. You know these heroes.
Not bad.
W, MLBB, W, Head and Shoulders. Go ahead, shake it out.
I thought he was going to say beat us up. And I was like, I don't think I would want Gatot Kacha beating me up every time I go in the shower.
That's
like,
yeah. I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
He's on
wouldn't
our
hurt.
side. He's on our side. Don't
Okay.
worry. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
that's
on
a,
our
that's,
side.
That's a
Okay.
horrifying image, man. You're in the shower, you open your eyes, it's just like,
like, do you ever get like that fear when you close your eyes when you're like washing your hair?
Yes, but
Yeah,
not of
something
Gatot
appears.
Kacha.
Yeah,
I don't.
exactly.
Yeah.
I have
Gatot
fears.
Kacha in
Maybe
your face.
ghosts, you know, Lafel, but not Gatot Kacha.
Would you prefer Lafel to show up in your bathroom out of nowhere or Gatot Kacha?
Honestly,
Tough
neither.
questions here.
Neither. Maybe, yeah, I mean neither.
There is no right answer,
I
guys.
think we'd all prefer Naisu.
Okay, let's talk about the audience and their topic voting. I mean, what they voted for a topic. Defeated in game number 1, how can Evos make a comeback in game number 2?
Uh-oh.
And the results are...
I thought it was gonna be Prey again.
50% apply pressure on Skylar's lane. Yeah. We were talking about this.
Well, hear me out here, okay?
Okay, I'll hear.
This makes sense.
Okay.
But at the same time, have you seen how teams that try and focus down Skylar do against RRQ? You know, you have all your eyes drawn onto Skylar. Before you know it, Rins makes a play. You see Dyran make a play.
Don't forget Mr. Sutsu.
Sutsujin as well. It's a lot easier said than done right here to apply pressure on Skylar's lane. Maybe in that game in particular, with the Sicilian in the picture, that could be a real solution. But right now, it's back to square one. Despite everything that Evos can technically learn from RRQ, who's to say that RRQ won't come up with a completely different draft for game number 2, and then they're back to 0.
Yeah, like Skylar on like a fighter in the gold lane.
Wow.
And then how would you put pressure on that lane?
That'll be crazy, man. Against Cascute, man, it's just really like you're studying for a test, and then like 2 days before the test begins, they're like, hey, by the way, we're swapping out the whole textbook.
Speaking of swapping things out, Evos go for first pick this time. Looks like their win rate is a little bit better, 30% as compared to the 16% that we saw from before. Do you think that this could change things for Evos?
This definitely opens up a couple more picks, especially with the chip having to be respected usually by the second pick team. But at the same time, in the current meta, there's so many prior heroes open here, technically. And especially if both teams want to let go of those assassins, there's a chance that the second pick might even benefit from having more directly, having a direct option to just pick up 2 strong heroes all the way from the beginning.
That's possible. And man, for RQ, it doesn't make a difference either.
No.
77% and 76%.
Stats.
It's like 1% difference.
It doesn't matter what side you give Cascute. This guy, even in Bigatron, by the way, he was able to do this. So, hey, this is just Cascute, man. I miss him. I really do.
Sad times for Mirko.
No,
yes.
We got Theo and Wura. I'm okay.
It's okay. He's good. He's good. He wants the audience to know that he's good. But the fan base as well right here, both the Kingdom and the Evos fans, trying to shout their heart out, trying to get their players to get in the groove for what could be the final game.
I literally invented
Let's go.
one.
Into the drafting phase, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G. Evos, is that a Yeet ban in the first phase?
Sure is. What season is it where we see the Yi ban away so early on? With the chip ban away by Cascute, let's see what else is going to come up right here. I don't think the Sicilian warrants a ban, but hey, speaking of weird mages, weird magical damage in the gold lane, the Alice still was banned out. I wonder if there could be a situation here where it gets left open and one of these teams can pick it up.
I'm not sure. When it comes to Evos, or RQ rather, what if they gonna ban out the Phobias? Alright, so they're actually planning to leave the Edith open this time around. In game number 1, they were the ones to ban out the Hayabusa, Tigreal, and Harith. So maybe this game, they might be looking to pick up the Hayabusa for Sutsujin. That is a pick that hasn't really done too well in the hands of Sutsujin. So I guess we'll see what the plan is here.
It hasn't done so well for Sutsujin, but that's before the changes, I believe. So by all means, that could be that could be a bit of a factor. This is why the matches immediately after a big patch, after big changes and adjustments to heroes, get very exciting in the drafting phase. Hayabusa will be respected by Evos. I believe that's quite the wise choice. But now for RRQ, what's the idea here? Earlier, they banned away the Edith along with that, but it's the Mathilda. They are not willing to concede it to Evos.
Nope, no chance. And this means that the Edith is open, the Harith is open as well. What do they want to go for?
I think Edith is a safe choice to go for, but because if they go Harith,
I'm the priestess
yeah,
of
there you
primal
go.
lightning.
They go Edith here, RQ with a response this time around. What are they gonna go for? They can go Ling for Sutsujin, knowing that the Ling is up for grabs, but they decide to go for the Arlet first. Good flex pick with the change of the mana. Now it's a lot stronger than it was before.
Yeah, the manaless hero Arlet in the EXP lane potentially, but maybe Ytta can make good use of it as well. Along with that, what's it gonna be? Usually it's a mid lane. For the longest time it was always the Aurora, but hey, Nolan making an appearance. Sutsujin was doing great on the Nolan, but we have to remember the slipperiness of this Nolan has been lowered, but Sutsujin is one of those assassins, one of those players who hasn't really been playing too risky when it comes to that Nolan gameplay.
I was wondering when the Nolan would show up, right? I was curious to see the effect that the patch had on the Nolan, and we finally get to see it in play now. Evos, however, do they want to secure the Valentina still for Klokun, or do they have a different option in mind?
They gotta somehow prepare for the Harith, because the Harith is coming. If they don't get a counter here, Harith gets picked up and then all the counters get banned away in the second phase.
So Valen Lunox?
I don't know if you want to go Lunox here though. Yeah, okay. This is a Herod pick, I think, for RQ.
Wow, okay, man. The link with the Faramis, though, seems like the sustainability is something that they really want. But now they got a bit of a good balance. Man, I kind of called it. But wow, Alice in the first phase.
Oh, man.
They've secured a physical damage source in the jungle as well. So this is a well-balanced pick. And they ban away the Lunox.
What do you think about this Alice going into a lineup that has the Faramis, though?
It's good. I guess in a way it's good, right? Because everyone's forced to clump up anyways.
Yeah.
So if you're the Alice, you're outputting the damage, you're healing more anyways.
It's better than the Harith against the Faramis.
And technically, again, the combination miracle, we talked about this yesterday, I believe.
No.
The fact that they put the Alice with an assassin means everyone is kind of worried about kind of spreading apart alone from each other. And that can lead to that corralling effect. And with the final slash, there's so many ways that RRQ can combo this. But for Evos, if they can secure enough playmaking tools, maybe they can stop it in its tracks.
Oh man, Coach Kez. Remember when he was in Bigatron Alpha, he picked this Alice for the jungle for Super Ken, and then he ended the draft with an Angela. With the Valentina and Yi banned out, with the Eve also banned out. Honestly, I don't see why not. Why not go for the Angela? Give the Alice even more power. Play around Skylar. By the way,
you can combo with the Nolan as well.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, Season 7, Skylar, when he made his debut, he was hated the most when he played Alice because he kept losing lane.
Yikes. Well, how to turn tables. Now the Alice is actually back, quote-unquote, in the meta. We'll have to wait and see how it develops after this week. First pick for RRQ, though. Like you mentioned, Mirko, so many options. They can get a strong pick for the lane. They can go and get more utility. With 6 seconds to go, the answer is going to be the Aurora. Late into the drafting phase. Technically, it can still be flexed.
Yeah.
Into the roam for Edok.
The Edok technology. The
Man.
Aurora roam technology.
This is disgusting to draft against, honestly.
The trickster.
Okay, let's see the idea. Okay, we have a Kaja Beatrix combination as the final 2 picks for Evos. And now for RQ. Pick your poison.
Let's go Minotaur at this point, right?
Or Ruby, maybe?
Ruby, Minotaur.
The signature Ruby can stop the Kaja. You know, we've seen it happen. A Kaja flicker Divine Judgments.
Yeah.
As he arrives, gets stuck on the Donwan Wolf King. It's a signature pick for Edok as well.
Or just go Franco.
Or just go Franco.
I don't know. There's no real
Signature pick
burst.
as well.
There's no follow-up burst, right? I mean, Aurora,
bro. Nolan,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
But it's not instant.
True. Hang on a minute.
It's not like a carry or a Beatrix. They go for. Good, the Gata
Kacha.
Not expect the Gata Kacha.
Exactly. You have to expect the unexpected when Coach Kaz is in the building.
I don't know, what is a Gatot for?
To actually
Beatrix?
drop on top of the Nether Realm?
Yeah.
Maybe.
The taunt also stops the Kaja. If you go Divine Judgment, you get taunted, you can't move.
Oh, you're right. And in the early game, maybe they were concerned about not matching the aggression coming in from the Ling, from the Faramis, you know, in the mid lane. The Gatot almost guarantees that in that roam 1v1, you have a bit more to say about how things go. Because again, the passive, right? It gives you damage, reduction, and also sustain.
I love it.
Once
love
again,
it.
Look, the lineup rating favors Evos, but
both games,
we all know that is not how, you know, it's not on paper, right? The games are played in the Land of Dawn.
My people would say that's cap.
It's cap. Omawa has learned that slang from us as well.
The final life, the final possibility, the final chance for the White Tigers to look for that possibility into the playoffs.
Smash
And here it is, another battle between heaven and earth. Can Evos survive and withstand the pressure of the kingdom to force this to a game number 3?
Oh, look at that early pressure from Edok and Renz.
Yikes, man. The fact that there's another additional crowd control tool for the side of RRQ, especially in that combo, right? The twin pillars, Rinz and Edok. You get taunted, you get hit with the hailstorm. It's a lot of damage that you have to sustain through. Right. Look at this movement though from the side of Evos. They want to contest early on.
I just want to throw out a fun fact, but this is the worst Ling skin to use in a game because it's very hard to see the visualization of where the blades are going to drop. You'll see it later when he ults, but he's using a special Ling skin.
Interesting. Wow. All right. Let's take a look at the emblems by Indicom though while we do have the chance, because this seems like a high-paced, high-octane game. Agilities for the Pheromones and the Kaja, roaming around. Weapon mastery for the Beatrix though. Seems like they don't feel like they can snowball reliably enough, or they're gonna rely on the Link to snowball and let the Beatrix handle that late game damage. But, oh, Natko dashed earlier, and now it's gonna be caught by the taunt as well. Natko might be forced to flicker out, so Sujin is waiting there, no fracture!
Oh!
Almost predicting the flicker. But Natko will be forced to recall.
But he gets out, right? He used the flicker at the right time, was able to get out. By the way, in terms of emblems, Clocken, Paramis, Lethal Ignition.
Lethal Ignition to just get extra bit of damage in the midst of a quick trade, you know? And by all means, the Ghost Bursters. If you actually use it in a crowd of human beings...
Oh! Natko, no! He survives with the QC! Oh no, the lethal ignition's right there! Annabelle coming in, Dreams as well, walking up to Vitalize. Not enough to keep him alive. Skylar able to flicker out at the top of the blades. Annabelle picking up all the blades, but the flowing blood gets Skylar out, 1 for 1.
That's the nerf onto the cooldown of that dash, man. You see Sosujin trying to get out of there, but he has to be a bit more careful with how he wants to dash out. He can't just spam it out the same way. And again, with Clocken having a bit more burst of the Lethal Ignition, RRQ now, they gotta be a bit more careful here, because level 4 is up for a lot of the members of Evos.
Meanwhile, you can see both of these mid laners trading it out. Technically, right now, we do see that RQ is able to clear a lot quicker. And speaking of clearing, man, that damage already early game from the Aurora onto Dreams is going to be a problem. Dreams is already half health. And this is before they go for the setup for the turtle.
Even though there was a level 4 advantage for Evos, they were unable to use it. Despite having a Kaja, you would think that they would be dictating the pace, just forcing to try and get something, anyone, from the side of RRQ, but maybe they're not confident about the first damage. But look at the moves coming in from Rins. No flicker on the Kaja. Oh, Dyron! Oh, Final Flash cancelled down. Now Divine Judgment as well, but the Avatar, the Guardian connects under the back of Freeze with the Frigid Glacier. Even with the Netherrealm, it does not matter. Psychots with the Earth Shatter only onto Rins, getting passive down, but now with the Fractured Psychot should be taken down. That's a double for Sutsujin. Annabelle forced back.
That was such good cover from RRQ.
1 for 2 though. Darwin trying to hunt for the stragglers, but with the fact that the Aurora has the passive, right, it just allows RRQ to get so much more value. Evos were forced to wait around, and this was the power of the Gatakacha we're talking about there, stopping the Divine Judgment from being that deadly of a tool. But look at this, Sutsujin walking into Dreams, not caught just yet though. No Divine Judgment. Darwin's gonna be careful. No flicker. He will be taken out. Natko gets a kill. Wow, the burst damage coming in from Evos certainly still available. And look at that, Natko landing a lot of these skill shots, still doing pretty well at RRQ. I think they're gonna be forced to play a bit slow right here. They're saying Evos have the burst potential. With Annabelle already picking up 2 kills, they want to be a bit more careful. They know Annabelle is a very adept jungler in his own right. So now we're gonna see a bit of a break in the action. Right on time for Beacant.
Is he there? Does he notice yet?
Not
he
yet,
doesn't
not
know
yet.
yet. I wonder what he's talking about. 3, 2.
What's his nickname? The General?
1.
Yeah, his name is the General.
The General of
He doesn't
RRQ.
know.
Still
He hasn't
waiting.
noticed yet.
He's desperately just waiting. And then,
There,
there you go.
Oh, he has something to show. What is this?
What is that?
What is this?
Wait. Okay.
Oh, no.
Sweater?
I have a bad... Oh, no, just... Oh, it's cold.
Oh!
He's cold.
He's cold up there. Number 1 RRQ.
It's cold on top. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to M6.
Beacant! Oh, hang on a minute, Dyron.
That's the General right there for you, boys. Dyron surviving in the bottom lane.
Great moment there from the General. And you can already almost hear his voice. He has a very, characteristic voice there, Beacant. Very motivational. All right, with 14 seconds to go, 10 seconds to go for the Turtle. You can see both teams definitely trying to set up properly here.
Oh man, they see Dreams. If we're talking about setup, Dreams, he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders right now. I mean, technically, Beatrix should be... Oh, wait a second.
Edup's gonna be the one. Oh, final strike from Dyron. Getting stunned down with the Frigid Glacier on another realm. Annabelle winning up the retreat battle. Disaster for RRQ strikes Annabelle. Picking up all the blades on the Skylar, who will be taken out. just in a snap. Evo's glory. Oh, Dreams canceling the recall. Diamond moving forward, getting the vengeance. Delayed recall. And this is a turret for Evo's glory.
That's a 3-for-0 trade. And, you know, that's what I was curious about, right? Because technically, if you have an Alice in the gold lane, wouldn't you need a little bit more time to get to that power spike as compared to Natko, who now has that BOD?
Oh, close. Almost a steal. But yeah, that's a fair point, Eterna. Usually you would see the team with the Alice take it a bit slow and at least go for fights where the Alice won't be present, won't be required. But RRQ went for it right there. They lost the neutral objective, multiple members, and a turret as well. Definitely a quote-unquote miscalculation. And I think that's RRQ BB on in the arena right there.
It's BB8.
BB8. BB8? Her name is BB8?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
BB8.
Maybe we'll get a BB8 skin in game.
Oh.
Well, she's here to show support, but Dreams already with the bleeding time. Bleeding time. This means that there's going to be more Divine Judgment attempts at least. Oh, look at that conceal.
Trying to go for Skylar again, trying to shut him down. Stop him from farming. Adok doing a good job at zoning them away. His Holy Blood will be used by Skylar, but he won't utilize the second part of it. Just wants to clear out that wave.
So what is the power spike that we're waiting on for RRQ in terms of items, especially for Skylar? Because we saw the Alice gold lane get to that much damage, but it required time in the hands of Aaron, right? But for Skylar now, how many?
I think a good rule of thumb is 3 item power spikes, but you know, me and Mirko, we kind of tried out a bit of the Alice technology just last night.
I got the wrong emblem. But it was still strong with the wrong emblem, so 3 items.
Oh. Adok, goodbye. Immortality pie. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Rinse the flicker forward, add the bridge of glacier onto Dreams. I'm not too sure about that. That's the roamer. Hoshi losing out in the speed fight against Skylar running away. Natko gunning them down. The flicker from Natko. Oh, Suzuki gets taken out as well. What happened to Evos? What happened to RRQ?
There's just so much aggression right there. RRQ, despite the fact that in theory, they want to take it slow. They want to counter-engage. They're the ones chasing. A flicker frigid glacier play by Rins. We all know that Rins is an aggressive player that wants to make the plays happen, even when he's on a defensive control mage. But right there, that was just something extra coming out of him. No flicker available, gets chased down. RRQ, they gotta calm down here. It's like the tempo from game number 1 is still in their heads.
They need to before things get completely out of control, right? A 5k gold lead now for Evos at the moment. And a very interesting item build for Natko. So BOD, and then he didn't go for Malefic Roar. He went Sky Piercer?
That's the Sky Piercer abuser coming through. The features with the Sky Piercer. You have to remember that it does stack up, it does scale. So now RRQ, there's more pressure on them to really not give a lot of these kills to Natko. You're seeing why Natko was willing to flicker forward as well earlier. Those stacks can really be so valuable in the late game. Looking at RRQ, moving on to clear right here. Rins is only on the glowing wand, so by all means, they're pretty far behind. And in the main roles, the jungler, for instance, is 2,000 gold ahead. The RRQ is in a very, very tough spot, especially with that BOD pickup from Annabelle. So much burst damage soon. Even Ytta can't really stay in the front line anymore.
So what would Skylar's next item be? So
Holy
he
Crystal.
has 2, and then straight to Holy Crystal, and that's the power spike.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
does he still need like Divine Glaive?
Now he does, yes. Now, not Divine Glaive. I think Winter Crown.
Maybe. And you have to remember that I believe when Aaron was playing this Alice, I don't remember seeing a Starlium. But
There was a Sarlion.
Was it Starlium?
Yeah.
Okay, well, means that there's going to be more emphasis in actually getting some more of those basic attacks to proc the true damage. So as long as there's a healthy amount of magic damage available for this Alice, it's going to be a lot of healing available. And maybe that could be the extra plan later on, right? Make sure that Skylar in the front line can help out with Edok and be an extra front line technically, all things considered. But for now, with a 6,000 gold deficit, I think it's a great time for RRQ to actually have some moments like this. And they're very careful with the opening of the map here. Rin spamming out those hailstorms, knowing it's on short cooldown, making sure that Evos has no chance to snowball even further.
Slow build. But Evos won it slow with a gold lead like this. Hey!
Oh, there's
hey,
R7.
Oh, it's a legend.
That's an
Mr.
intense,
Chip 7.
an intense expression right there.
Chip 7 in the building. I wonder if he can shortcut to the MPL arena.
Oh. would be a cool moment.
I want to see the moment he realizes.
And we're waiting.
Oh, there it is.
The timing's all. Sorry, R7. Dream just got taken. Oh, okay, maybe with him. RQ's got a big avatar. R7 shows up and suddenly RQ want to go for a fight. Annabelle, no time to play. It's Ytta with Revitalize, unable to survive. Rins with the flicker forward. Now it's Psychons punishing Sutsujin. Skylar getting some HP back, flickering out to safety. Tyrant able to escape.
Natko actually burns Flicker as well to get that final kill onto Skylar, but Skylar was still able to get out of that. But that's a 1-for-2 trade, again in favor of the White Tigers. Arashi, this should be a better setup for the White Tigers to get this Lord.
Absolutely. At this point, I'm not sure if it's even possible for RRQ to try and go in like this. Psychot is out-tanking and out-damaging the members of RRQ. The gold deficit has increased now to 8,000. RRQ on the back foot, now attempting to kind of defend. In theory, with the Aurora, AoE, and control and zoning, and with the final slash threat looming around the corner, RRQ can kind of play this out, play it kind of safe. Because even if Evos want to try and get a play, the best they can do is go for a pick-off attempt with the Kaja. Because if they go in and dive with the Netherrealm, as a lot of teams do with that Faramis, they're liable to just getting completely bursted down with the AoE. Now taking a look at some more of the items, Endless Battle completed for Annabelle. So more burst damage, and with the Thunderbolt, Radiant Armor, and a Dreadnought for Psychots, he can just stay in the front, no problem at all. But with that Sea Halberd available for Sutsujin, maybe that tankiness can be mitigated quite a bit.
Is Natko on the way to Haas Claws, by the way?
I think he is.
Vampire Mallet?
Or a Wind of Nature, but that would not make that much sense against this magic comp. Yeah. I think it might be just the Haas Claws.
Uh-oh.
Could be used against Sutsujin, technically. But
what?
Okay.
Heptases and then Rose Gold then, maybe.
He wants that extra burst damage, definitely. Look at that snipe coming through. The Sniper Elite. It doesn't land though. RRQ has defended from the waves, but this is just the beginning of their problems. 8,000 gold behind. Wishing Lantern on the Faramis. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah, me neither.
There
it's a 9,000
were
gold lead,
changes to the Wishing Lantern though, right?
Yep. It doesn't give you as much mana any longer, but it still does a ton of damage. Max HP damage, 10% if I'm not mistaken. When you apply about 800 damage. So for Evos, especially in this position, with Clocken having the liberty, the time and space to just stay in the back and just spam the Ghost Bursters, it's gonna be a nice addition to the damage output overall from the team.
By the way, Mirko, you mentioned about Skylar and Alice.
Yeah, Season 7 he was hated because he couldn't play the Alice that well.
So, if they lose this?
Maybe don't play Alice. It's a tough one to pull off. I think RQ made a lot of mistakes in the early game here. And Skylar, mainly, I think, was way too aggressive on the Alice early on.
I think so too. And the team overall were also very aggressive in roping Skylar into those fights. Sutsujin now is level 15 by all means, but everyone else is just really, really far behind. So with a 9,000 gold lead, 14 minutes, now there's a bit of a weird shift because Evos at this point, especially the leading carries, they're going to be running out their builds to get a full inventory slot. And once it happens, now they have the urgency to try and end the game, even though technically with the item swaps, that could still be a massive resource that Evos could use.
Or Sharon the Flicker. Oh my goodness, Tyrant just got eliminated.
Now in the mid lane, it's
Flicker.
Will be a massive resource that Evos could use.
Or Sharon the Flicker. Oh my goodness, Tyrant just got eliminated.
Now in the mid lane, it's Sutsujin
versus Annabelle, and yes, Sutsujin just disappeared too. Two members of RRQ gone, just like that.
This is a disaster for RRQ. If they were hoping to go for a clean sweep against the White Tigers. And like you mentioned, Arashi, before, an animal that is wounded is a dangerous beast. And this is exactly what we're seeing from Evos. They pick up the Lord, they pick up the 2 kills, and that inhibitor turret falls in the top side without anything.
Without any intervention from the side of Evos, a 12,000 gold lead. Evos, the team in last place, is actually putting on the pressure against RRQ. Job's not done though. A while back, RRQ were known as the Comeback Kings. And me personally, I never felt like that nickname has really left. You know, you always have that belief that something can happen. But now, especially when they're in first place, it's more real than ever. Quick item check right here while we do have the time. Holy Crystal completed for Skylar, but he's gonna need a lot more than just that to really be able to match. And I don't think Evos are willing to give him that time as the Lord comes into their base.
Let's say Natco already sieging in the bottom lane. Won't be able to get the turret though, I think. The minute was cleared out. RRQ actually doing a good job at clearing up these waves. But there is going to be another wave coming down. RRQ Hoshi dealing with the Lord already with Skylar on the Alice. He got some really good clear on the Alice as long as he is able to get in range of the minions. Brings the flicker forward and Rins getting his passive broken, flickering out to safety. Annabelle with a jump over to Rins, but no! With the top of the plate, should be able to find a kill. Gets in, gets out. Another round coming down as Ytta is able to jump into the back. Annabelle again showing his prowess on this lane as Natco gets the unstoppable. Dyron with the vengeance now caught by the primal wrath and brought back by the stampede. But somehow RRQ are still able to defend. 13,000 gold lead though. There's still a mini wave in the mid lane. That is all three base turrets taken down. Cyclops with a flicker, Earth Shatter, and an onward out the Sunsujin and the Divine Judgment. Evo's Glory should maybe go for the end. Now it's Skylar against the world. Everybody against them. Still able to sustain. Skylar with it going forward and the winner crowd. But it's all too late. Evo's Glory can just go straight for the base.
The White Tigers strike back, ladies and gentlemen, forcing a game at number 3. Their backs were against a corner, but their tails were not tucked between their legs. Their fangs show up here, and RRQ have to fight another day.
The early game aggression, the way they're able to beat RRQ. We thought it was a done deal after the first game, after such a dominant result. But man, Evos, you give them the right tools, the right resources, they can definitely still be a real threat. This is what happens when you deal with a wild beast. Unpredictability is always in the picture.
Wow. 1-1, Evo's Glory. All of our predictions are just wrong like that. We all predicted 2-0 to RRQ Hoshi, but Evo's Glory showed up today. Going up against the Alice, no problem. Just went straight for the burst.
All that burst damage, all the survivability as well. Man, you would think that RRQ would play it a bit more defensively, but they just really wanted to show the difference in levels. But in doing so, they exposed that they are still susceptible to just making these mistakes happen. And look at this play, man. Annabelle, absolutely relentless, knowing that the backup of the team is there, knowing that the Nether Realm will allow them to survive from the big burst damage tools coming in from RRQ. They just go straight for it. It was a respectable attempt right here from Skylar to clear the waves, to try and save the game from impending doom.
Got everyone.
It was looking so good, dude. But Evos immediately recognized, hey, screw the kill. Let's go straight for the base. He's frozen. Can't move.
And no mana as well. Unfortunately for Skylar, despite getting the winner crown in time, it was not in time to defend.
And again, Evos, they used a combination that we haven't seen in quite some time. Because lately it's always been Kaja Carey or Franco Beatrix. Kaja Beatrix, something we haven't seen in quite some time, but very true to the identity of Dreams. And it really worked out for them. They were able to maximize on it. And technically with the Beatrix in the gold lane, it was so much easier and quicker for them to get to that power spike. And unfortunately, RRQ, they committed a little bit too much in the early game when they should have taken a little bit of time to like calm things down in the early portions.
I mean, even there, we saw that Skylar, like 4 items maybe? And
4 items.
He wasn't even near like the 6-item power spike. He just barely got the Winter Crown, and he was able to do that. He almost saved the game.
Almost.
You know, if only they slowed the game even more, right? They bought Skylar even more time, then maybe this could have gone differently. But of course, the game isn't played on a maybe basis. You know, what happened has happened, and that is Evos completely striking back against RRQ. You're seeing it here, that early turtle fight allows Evos to get so much more value. And once they get rolling, look at the confidence coming through from the side of Evos. Psychot's flickering in, Natco flickering forward. We talked about Natco having a lot of downsides, but when it comes to being aggressive when he needs to be, he's always kind of showed up. But look at that.
Look at that. Even from game number 1, honorable mention to this guy. And in game number 2, with a lot more room to maneuver, he becomes the player of the game. Annabelle, 806, 952 GPM on the Ling. Whew. I mean, in game number 1, it was difficult for him to really perform. But even then, we saw moments of brilliance for this kid. And in game number 2, we saw him just really outplaying Sutsujin on several occasions.
Yeah, I've said this to Rashi multiple times, but I really like the Ling over the Nolan. It's a better matchup in my opinion too, and I think Annabelle proves it here. Up against Sutsujin on the Nolan, there's not really much you could do on the Nolan against that Ling.
And you can also give credit to Evos for the way they were playing around Rins. Rins has been a core component in the team fighting of RRQ, and it feels like Evos really understood that. So every single time Rins is around, Rins is potentially trying to make a play happen. They did a good job kiting back and forth, baiting out some of the big spells, the frigid glaciers, the chilly breezes, to try and make sure that Rins himself, even here, the fact that he is all the way in the front, you know, Rins is usually a lot more careful than that. But maybe that's just the pressure that Evos are able to exert. And on top of that, you saw some of the solo kills coming in from Annabelle as well. I gotta agree with you, Mirko. The Nolan just looks so out of place, so lost when he's pitted up against that Ling.
Especially with the nerfs to the second skill, the
Exactly.
dash. 1.5 seconds now. Annabelle has such an easy time to just jump in and burst him down. Or chase.
Look at that. This play though, to try and go for a combo. In theory, maybe if he stayed back a bit more and cleared, maybe he could have bought more time. But as you mentioned, Mirko, the mana is gone too at that point. So now we're back to a final game, man, a best of 1. The hopes of playoffs for Evos. Could it be, man?
I mean, it's still alive. We asked a lot of questions about this new lineup that Evos have brought with Clocken in the mid lane, Psychots in the EXP, Annabelle, Dreams, and Natko. Might this be the formula that the White Tigers have needed this entire moment? And technically, they're now walking on momentum and adrenaline. So for them to cross over this win from game number 2 to game number 3, it's highly likely.
It's very, very likely. Taking a look at some of the items, we've already mentioned the Sky Piercer coming in from Natko, which is why he is so willing to burn flickers and all that to ensure that he gets more stacks, along with the Heptasis and BODing. It's a very surprising amount of burst damage, first and foremost, but even when he just goes with the Nibiru and shreds someone down with the SMG, you know, Skylar can't really survive long against all of that damage too. And you're seeing that for Evos, look at the items, man. For the most part, it's an Immortal, it's 1 Radiant Armor for Dreams on the Kaja, 1 Athena, 1 Dominance Ice. No one's really stacking up too much on the defensive items. And even for Evos, especially the mid lane and the gold lane, they just want to get more and more damage because they know at that point, they're the ones dictating the pace. There's no chance that Arkihoshi is going to dive into a Netherrealm play. So that's the kind of confidence that the Faramis pick is able to give them.
Annabelle. I think I've already mentioned this many times as well for Evos. If they are looking for a change next season, this guy you keep. You don't change this guy. This guy and Clockwood, very good players. Very, very good. Especially this guy. So good, man. On the Ling, hey, 1 in 10. His stats and his performance is not a 1 in 10 performance. Definitely not.
So can we say that the Nolan is unusable if the Ling is still available?
Not unusable. I don't think unusable. Because if the Nolan still snowballs, it's good, right? And Nolan has more ways to snowball in the early game, better farm.
Compared to the Ling.
Yeah, but the Ling outscales the Nolan. So if it's a 50-50, if both teams can scale up, then it's going to be tough for the Nolan.
Interesting.
And if there's a split push scenario potentially looming in the late game, then you better get that Ling, man. Because 1v1, I don't think I've seen it, right? I don't think I've seen a legit 1v1 where the Nolan actually comes out on top.
You know who comes out on top? Natalia. That hero against the Ling.
Ridiculous.
Such a weird pick.
Have you seen it, Eterna?
What?
Roam Natalia in the late game. It wins 1v1 against the Ling.
The thing is, she has that smoke screen and she's untargetable and you can't hit her, even though you hit all your skills.
That's why I'm excited.
Get out of here.
To see the Natalia debut after the patch.
No, just get her out of here. Delete her from the game. I hate her. I hate you, Natalia.
Calm down. It's fine.
Mirko, that was one game.
I don't care. I hate you. We won, but I hate you. That's Natalia.
I mean, we showed her.
Yeah, we won. But I hate you, Natalia.
At what cost? At what cost?
Yeah, it's about sending a message, Natalia.
Well, what is the message from Evos now?
We're
Right?
here. We're contenders.
We're contenders.
Okay, maybe not contenders just yet, but we still want to make it to
win
playoffs.
this, maybe.
Exactly, yeah, to win this. We're
Maybe.
here in this match.
And
Because
Go write us off.
Everyone predicted a 2-0 for RQ.
Everyone. Ranger Mas.
You even bet your house on it.
Huh? I bet my house
On a victory.
on a victory.
On a
Not
match
draw.
win, match
Oh, that's
win.
wrong. I'm just saying. No, my
Should have
house is
taken the
soft.
bet, guys.
It kind of reminds you of the mythical beast, you know,
You
the
can still
match
take the
point
bet.
Evos.
No.
Okay, see? Should have taken the bet.
Not now.
But you guys remember match point Evos? Whenever things
Yeah,
are going
match
tough,
point Evos.
match point Evos finds a
Yeah.
way, man. Lore has been taken, and now it's full cup. Legendary collaborations here. We Drink X MPLID Season 14. And moments like this where you're like, whoa, you're sweating, you're intense. And a good, nice drink can just change the game, man.
A nice drink. I don't want a
We're
nice drink. I want
sweating?
a grape drink.
The grape drink.
Exactly.
Definitely amazing.
Why are the viewers sweating?
Because they're watching their favorite team.
Did you not see R7 when
1-1.
he was on the picture?
Yeah, R7 was,
He was sweating?
and he was doing this
I think so.
after getting shot.
And he bit his mic as well.
He bit his mic.
He bit his mic?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't
Yeah,
see that
I
part.
did not see that.
Because the fight broke out.
Is that your...
And he was going,
oh.
he's like, ah.
I thought it's something that, you know,
He's
Rashi likes to
showing
think
his,
about.
his,
Oh.
what?
Because I didn't see it.
What?
What?
Did you
Did
guys
not
see
expect
it?
that. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Moving on.
Moving on, yes. From what Rashi likes to think about.
What do you mean?
Yeah, 1-1 now for both of these teams. Completely unexpected.
You didn't expect a 1-1?
No.
I thought you did.
No.
It's the classic
I
derby,
think
really?
we were all 2-0, right?
No, I was 2-1.
Really?
No, I was 2-0. Everyone was 2-0.
Dude, you can bet like Papa will be like, see, I knew it. I knew it.
And then game 3 happens. We'll see what happens in game 3,
Because
obviously.
on his story, he predicted 2-1 Evos.
Ooh.
Dang, okay.
Classic
Yeah,
derby number
he's not
33.
casting today, but he needed to, you know, put his prediction out there. So his vote was 2-1 Evos. And then I replied, and I was like, you're crazy.
Oh. I think I would say the same thing
And again,
before the game, yeah.
but it's close now.
It is.
Who in their right mind, you know,
It's 110
predict
versus
that?
9-1.
It's first place versus ninth place as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, we're talking facts here. We're talking data. I know we always talk about how data and, you know, on paper and in-game is different.
And Evos,
But
they're
bro-
doing this to the data.
And let's see what Moko's doing to the data on stage.
Wow, sang macan menolak untuk menyerah dan menggigit balik sang raja. Evos Fam di sini begitu semangat memberikan dukungan yang terbaik untuk Evos Glory.
Evos!
Wow, semangatnya dari Evos Fam begitu luar biasa. Sekali lagi dong tepuk tangannya untuk Evos Fam. Keren banget. Tapi Monica juga mau penasaran banget nih. Gimana rasanya Evos Fam ngelihat tadi nih. Deg-degan banget gak sih? Karena kalau Monica nih deg-degan banget tadi apalagi di game kedua. Kalau Evos Fam gimana tuh rasanya?
Perasaan mendukung Evos Fam itu cukup menegangkan karena di laga derby klasik ini cukup super seru.
Wow, ini keseruannya terasa nih sampai di sini. Karena memang seru banget dan akhirnya Evos Glory berhasil mengamankan 1 poin kemenangan di game ini. Tapi tentunya ini masih terus akan berlanjut. Tapi kalau ngelihat performance dari Evos Glory ini Guntur ya dan Evos Fam selama season 14 ini sepertinya agak kesulitan gitu. Tapi kalau ngelihat Evos Fam, Monica tuh selalu terharu karena Evos Fam mau Evos lagi kalah-kalahnya atau lagi menang-menangnya tuh tetap setia. Kalau ngelihat tuh yang tetap Evos walau di bawah nih posternya. Itu udah wah benar-benar setia banget sama Evos Glory. Apa sih yang bikin kalian tuh tetap setia dengan Evos Glory mau di bawah mau di atas pokoknya tetap setia gitu?
kita tetap perjuangkan apapun hasilnya. Kita tetap mendukung demi rivalitas e-sport Indonesia. Agar kita respect terus.
Tapi kan Guntur, ini apa sih yang membuat kalian itu tuh selalu setia banget sama Evos Glory?
Karena kesetiaan itu tetap di hati walaupun hatinya adalah sang macan yang paling berkasa.
Benar-benar. Suaranya sang macan gimana dong Guntur? Wow, semoga kita akan melihat sang macan putih mengaung kembali seperti suaranya dari Guntur. Tapi kan kalau ngelihat nih, harapan semakin tipis. Harapan Evos Glory semakin tipis di season 14 ini untuk melangkah lebih jauh ke playoff. Tinggal nggak boleh kalah lagi nih. Kalau kalah 2 kali lagi termasuk dari laga derby klasik ini, udah harus pupus nih harapannya ke babak playoff. Gimana perasaannya Evos Fam?
Perasaan kita sedih banget karena sudah 2 kali gagal lolos playoff di antara season 10 dan season 12 tahun kemarin. Semoga ini kalah dari lawan RRQ tidak boleh lagi. Dan kita harus lebih bangkit.
Wah, lebih bangkit. Aduh, Monica suka banget nih semangatnya dari Guntur dan juga Evos Fam. Tapi kan ini kita melihat kalau sepertinya agak sulit untuk mengulang sejarah di season sebelumnya. Karena di season sebelumnya dari minus melangkah jadi runner up. Tapi season ini sepertinya melangkah agak terseok-seok. Kalau menurut Evos Fam mungkin apa yang harus dilakukan oleh Evos Glory nih?
Kita butuh perubahan yang lebih signifikan dan gak boleh adanya kesalahan yang lebih serius banget. Karena kesalahan fatal bisa berakibat fatal dan gagal lolos playoff dan game over.
Itu tips dari Evos Fam khususnya dari Guntur nih. Tapi Monica juga penasaran, kan pasti sedih ya. Kalian kan selalu setia walaupun mungkin Evos Glory di bawah atau di atas pun tetap setia. Tapi ketika di masa-masa seperti ini Evos Glory bersusah payah untuk bisa bangkit. Kalian rasanya gimana sih? Sedih gak sih?
Kita cukup sedih banget karena apapun kita pernah menang 1 kali lawan alter ego di leg 1 sempat turun performanya, sering lose streak dan kita nggak boleh harus lebih bangkit dan lebih performa improve.
Pokoknya itu intinya ya, lebih performa, lebih improve. Karena mau dibawa tidak apa-apa karena Evos Fam tetap setia untuk memberikan semangat agar Evos Glory semakin bangkit. Tapi kita akan masuk ke game yang ketiga nih Guntur ya. Gimana kamu memberikan semangat, pesan-pesan untuk Evos Glory yang bakalan bertanding lagi, ketemu lagi di Line of Dawn dengan RRQ.
Ayo The Glorious White Tiger, sang macan putihku Evos Glory. Ayo pasti bisa segera bangkit dari papan bawah.
Dan sekali lagi, mana aumannya Evos Fam? Dan kita akan masuk ke game ketiga sekaligus game penentuan antara Evos Glory dan RRQ Hoshi. Silakan Casters.
The Evos fans are roaring. I mean, you can do it.
Roar!
You have to eat the mic.
Roar!
Yeah.
Got it. All right, I got you, Guntur. Got you.
That's his name?
Yeah, his name is Guntur.
Guntur.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh, is Guntur thunder? In Indonesian, yes? Oh.
I didn't know
I didn't
that.
know. Lightning or thunder, something to do with that.
Guntur.
Guntur, yeah.
Well, he definitely has a thunderous roar.
He
That's
does.
for sure.
He does.
That's one way to put it.
I mean, motivation is
Through the roof.
through the roof right now
Through
for
the ceiling.
Evos.
But the roof is still here. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
through it, not like it doesn't blast the roof off.
I thought it
so-
blasted the roof off because then
Yeah.
it'll be, if it's raining, it'll be pretty scary, but it's okay. Roof's
So
still
when you usually say the supporters are blowing the building up, blowing the roof off the building, you actually go like,
yeah, usually because, but usually the roof's always there, so I don't get that.
yeah. Funny how we say that.
I think it's what humans call a metaphor.
A hyperbole.
That too.
I'm trying not to say something that like crosses the line right now. So let's just move on.
Okay, why are you
Okay.
always so half empty, Turner?
1-1. Because sometimes I have to toggle between my streamer mode and my caster mode.
I see.
And streamer mode Eterna would not be acceptable on the caster desk. So when I don't say something, that's me telling myself, Eterna, don't say it.
Calm down.
Calm down. Calm down. And that's exactly what RRQ needs to do. They need to calm down and they need to go back to their strengths and really think about things as the audience are thinking about what they voted earlier on. They dominated in game number 2. So how can RRQ still win game number 3? Drumroll, please. There you go. 70% comfort hero for Skylar.
I see. So,
and again, you mentioned about the
hey man,
Skylar, Alice.
I thought I was getting redemption. I honestly thought Skylar was gonna redeem himself for season 7 Alice because season 7 Alice wasn't that good and he was getting a ton of hate because of that. But I trust him. That game proved that maybe, he fits the marksman or the backline role a bit better. Maybe stick to Skylar picks, Leave the Alice to Aaron Shiki.
Leave the Alice to Aaron, but I don't know. It's a respectable attempt from RRQ to really adapt, do something cool. But we're just talking about the smiles, how important the smile is for KSQ in the drafting phase. You don't see a lot of smiles right now. Is that a sign?
Oh, he's smiling. Look at him.
He's smiling.
Okay, now he is.
He's enjoying his time up there.
He's like, all right, guys, maybe that didn't work out. Let's try something else.
Something crazier.
I think though, with the game going very chaotic like that, you could see that RQ are definitely they don't know what to do. Like when it was super chaotic, Evos Glory kept on going for pickoffs, and with pickoffs, you actually do make it chaotic. You stagger the formation. The Kaja, that's why it was banned out by RQ in the second phase, if you guys remember, game 1.
That's why, the classical Chaos Derby.
It's a new version
the new
right
version.
here. But now the Fanny, the Yi, banned once more. Going with that solution they found in game number 2. Coach Age trying to replicate the same kind of success, but for RRQ, immediately the link.
on the way.
Now, are you gonna let go of the... Oh, hang on a minute. With Evos banning with the Mathilda as well. So what is taking precedent in first phase? In the first pick for Evos, with the Mathilda that was so hotly contested, it was even banned by RRQ in game 2. It's banned by them.
Exactly, that's why this third drafting phase is a lot more interesting than before. Presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G. It turns out their choice is Phoveus. So Evos with the Ling being banned out. Do they go for the Edith that they found success on earlier on? The Flex, they still stick with that. But RQ now, do they still want to go for the Arlette and Nolan?
Arlette and Nolan. Now with the Ling in the picture, in theory, it's alright. But, the Fanny is also banned as well. All of these pesky, long-range mobility heroes like the Ling and the Fanny, it's not in the picture any longer. So maybe the Nolan is that important, but they snatch away the Faramis, and that's the signature Ruby, the flex potential as well.
But this is a Valentina pick for sure for Evos Glory. Then they could go for... Yeah, Valentina for sure. The other pick probably... I think picking up a pick for Annabelle would be safe too here early on. Maybe a Nolan for them.
Right, the Nolan picked up by Annabelle might work here, but is this RRQ hinting at going for something like the Roger that has been so successful in the hands of Zetsujin? Now with the Luo Yi that was banned in the second phase by Evos themselves. Back in the mix. Now it's getting a bit interesting. Evos won't be able to match the Nether Realm, but they're gonna have that macro advantage. But look at the Joy! Wait, what is going on right here?
Joy? Jungle?
Yeah, it should
Most
be
likely.
jungle. No, it goes gold lane, right?
Joy EXP, the throwback?
Oh, the throwback to M4.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it should just be the Joy in the jungle here with the Nolan matchup, yeah.
Agreed. I mean, we have to go really far back if you're really trying to theorize, where these heroes are going to go. We haven't seen the Joy and the Luo Yi alone for quite a while at this point.
So with that being said, does the Joy still have that same pressure that it used to have? I mean, with all the changes and all the nerfs to the Joy.
So now you're not immune to shot control, but you are immune to slows technically. on the side of Evos here, there are two solid card control tools, but we've seen that with the right mindset, I guess, with the right backup, Fabian, I think, pulled off his joy once.
Yeah.
I do not remember against which team, though.
Yeah, but he did play the joy once this season. Hoshi, I think this time it's good to get rid of the Kaja, because the Kaja Loyi would be even scarier than what we saw previously in game 2. The Kaja in itself was already super scary. Kaja Loyi, I think this was brought up by TLID actually last season when they were still called Aura. It was Yaoi and in the mid lane, Yhezkiel. Yeah, the Loyi combo with the Kaja, Loyi with Tigreal. Let's see. Oh, it's actually going to be a Minotaur ban, so they'll leave the Kaja open, I'm guessing, because they already have a Ruby. So trying to deal with the Kaja through the Ruby pick. But still, I'd say with the Loyi, this is a dangerous pick to be left open like this.
Yeah, it's definitely good synergy. And you have to remember that back when it was initially shown in FLID, Loyi Kaja was a thing that Rebellion was very fond of bringing out, was using with ODCS's great pickoff style. Now with the Claude banned away though, seems like Evos are certain that they want something good, something AoE based for Skylar right here. But the Claude though, banned away, Mirko. Is it that important?
I think it's because they have a Loyi. They want to be very fast with it, and Claude is very, very safe when it comes to escaping, right? That battle mirror image gets you out real quick, quicker than even a Moskov. So in this particular situation, I'd say that's a pretty good ban.
Well, okay. Let's wait and see here. The first pick in the second phase for RRQ. I think card control in theory should be what they're looking for. Bit of survivability as well. So now there's still flex potential here between the Gato Kacha and the Ruby. But for Evos, they're going to be forced to expose the whole hand right here, right now. It's a very mid-game, mid-range, close-range oriented team fight. I feel like more damage would really serve them well. But like you mentioned, Mirko, the pickup potential is what they're able to use to really pressure RRQ, even though in theory, RRQ could have really matched it as well.
So what's the choice here for Dreams? Assuming that Edith is going to the hands of Psychots. You mentioned the Kaja.
Yep.
There's a Franco. Oh, there it is. Harith. Okay, Harith in the gold lane. And then the Akai.
Wow. Whoa. Interesting. The heavy spin for the neutral objective play, the ability to scatter everyone and push them away perhaps from the Netherrealm. You can see the idea, but Loyi Akai?
Yeah.
What's the idea there? You teleport and pin 4 members with a hurricane, with the heavy spin? That feels so idealistic.
There's a lot of room for error for sure. If that's the combination that they're thinking. And RRQ close things off with a Moskov.
We did see the Akai last time actually picked by Evo's Glory as well. It was up against a Jawhead. That one makes sense, right? You want to try to disengage from that Jawhead initiation for the Jawhead pickoffs as well, but the Akai here, I understand against the Faramis and the Loyi. I guess we'll just have to see how it plays. It gets played here by Evo's Glory. Dreams, very good on the Akai. Mr. Kaon, still full smiles.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Well,
right?
It is.
Right, guys?
The lineup rating, though, hey, it still favors Evos. I think all 3 games it has favored the side of Evos, but we've seen already from game number 1 that it's not a thing. It's not a surefire deal. EXP Gatot, though. Wow. Let's go. That's the dangerous, high damage survivability style that Tyrant just loves.
One hand on a cliff,
5 seconds
and the
till
other
enemy
already
reaches
in
the
mid-air.
battlefield.
The
Smash
final
them.
breath for Evos. If they still want to make their playoff run, their playoff dream live.
Welcome
Here we are,
to
ladies and
Mobile
gentlemen, for the
Legends.
final game in the classical derby between Evos Glory and Rex Regum Kaon.
Let's see it here, folks. Will Evo's Glory still be able to keep that dream, though it's far from reach, alive? Or will RRQ take it away from them, snatching it away from their corpse as they take them down this game? 1-1, best of 1. It comes down to this game.
Looking at the respect right here, Nadco and Skylar both running the Purify, but so does Rins being on that Faramis. That's gonna be a fully stuck together actually for Dreams on the Akai. Weapon Mastery for Harith, so they do expect that this game might go a bit later into the late game.
Sutsujin?
Yes?
The emblem?
Oh, Sutsujin with the Temporal Rain there. getting more cooldown reduction when you use your ultimate. In theory, it works well for the joy, right? You pop the electrifying beats and you get more mobility tools. Just jump in there, do some damage. Look at this.
Sutsujin actually missing out there because Dreams flickered out, so he's unable to get the reset to go for the rhythm. But for the electrifying beats, it's also an abysmal stat for Annabelle. 0-5 on the Nolong.
Wow. I mean, I think last season we were just talking about how good Annabelle is on this Nolan, but I guess it's a different time and it hasn't really been generous on him either. For both teams, it's still a waiting game, but you can see Ytta on the Ruby. 6 wins, 2 losses. A lot more aggressive here. This pick was available in the previous game, by the way, but RRQ opted for that Gatot Kacha. Now, look at this.
Annabelle starting to turtle up already. Dreams, not level 4 just yet. Ytta, not level 4 either. Sutsujin spotted out Psychots. Able to find him, good headbutt away. Sutsujin with the electrifying beats already and the temporal rain as Avatar comes in. Psychots, or Shadow Flicker, Retribution. Annabelle wins it again. Sutsujin unable to get the Retribution down. Dyron forced back. Rin's gonna be knocked up now as Dreams looks for a pick. No Purify on Rin's. Early win for the Tigers.
To begin with, RQ didn't have the best of starts either, even if they wanted to go for that contest. Sutsujin was a level below at level 4 as compared to Annabelle, who was at level 5 at the time, and the setup really wasn't there. RQ still went in for the commit for the contest, and now they're the ones falling behind.
They're also forced to show Sutsujin very, very early on. Look at that. I think Sutsujin still get that one? That camp? I believe he did. Not quite so sure. But again, he showed himself so early on right there, and you would usually expect Dyron or Adok to make the first move early on, but look at this.
Heavy spin, pinning him down as well. Psychots rotating over the Earth Shatter.
Oh!
And wow, well played by Dreams using the flicker to get to Rins so that the Netherrealm doesn't get in range of Edok.
Creative use of that heavy spin. Now, RRQ on the back foot, already feeling the pressure, most definitely. 1k gold lead, and unlike game number 1, RRQ have not been able to really farm up with the same efficiency, especially because Annabelle is clearing so much faster here. Level 7, but look at this.
The taunt down as well. Annabelle, can he escape from this? Sutsujin reading it out. Unfortunately, unable to get through the wall. Gets the electrifying beats down. Edok missing the I'm offended. Uncharacteristic mistakes from RRQ as Evos take control of the game.
This isn't a great start for RRQ. It looks like Dreams will be pulled back just a little bit. There's no follow-up whatsoever. As we take a look at the audience prediction, 84% for RRQ. So talking about RRQ, Dyron in a 2v1.
As revitalize and gets back to technically just full HP there.
It's a good move for Dyron to just pull away the attention. And right now, I think the eyes are still on the jungle. Annabelle farming so fast, and he's leaving Sutsujin behind. Only ahead by 1 level at this point, but look at the setup for RRQ. They're trying to look for something, but it seems like Evos feel like they can actually match his fighting potential.
Again, still, Sutsujin is a level below of Annabelle. Let's see the setup for RRQ.
Psychots, Earth Shatter Flicker. Did not connect onto anyone. Dyron says Ini Bencana with the emote.
A disaster. For those of you who don't understand the translation, we haven't seen a diversion play. Evos can try and go for something like that, but Edok,
Part 2, Dreams walking up with the headbutts of Force already onto Edok now with the Earth Shatter. Connecting early with the armor. Primal Wrath coming down as the taunt is able to stop him now with I'm offended as well, but now it's a heavy spin to bring them all the way back. Edok taken down. Dyron with the Avatar gets out, but it is a win for Evos Glory. Turtle number 2, as it is going to be traded by a turret in the bottom lane.
Let's see, Skylar is looking for a little bit of a trade in the bottom lane. Still able to get it. So it is a small win for the Kings. But unfortunately for them, Evos gonna be able to strike back with that tier 3 turret in the top side.
I mean, it's a nice move and all, but all things considered, I think Skylar is still behind by about 200 to 300 gold, even after taking down that turret. I have a small, brief recess here with the MPIDX streamer program, looking at Evos' Alyssa.
She doesn't know yet.
No. Always takes a bit of a,
there's a delay,
couple of moments.
From live. Let's see what. I mean, Evos are winning, so she still looks kind of concerned in a way, you know?
As everyone would be.
Let's see. Reaction.
Hi!
When are we going to see Eterna?
She looks nervous. Eterna?
Yeah, are we not going to see Eterna with the MPLID Extremer program?
I don't restream a lot. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair. But let's go back into the game. Skylar already dealing some damage into the turret there from Evos. And he should be able to get it. So another trade back from RRQ.
A bit of a trade back, and there's no way for Evos to kind of match it on the other side now. So all things considered, Evos has the gold advantage, and yet still it's going to be even trades. But look at his diversion.
Oh my god, wait.
Tight cut Scott on the wrong side of the wall. Oh, they're all seen. Earth Shatter connecting on towards him. Edok getting offended onto 4 with a heavy spin, disengages them. Edok inside of the Netherrealm gets caught, and an Atco will be able to pick up the kill, and Zaman Force already plays out as well. Sutsujin walking up, trying to go for it. Natco brought back by the Stampede. Now the electrifying beats onto Psychos. Tyrant picking up the kill, and just like that, the Kingdom have arrived. Annabelle Fracture almost getting Skylar and Rins together. The buy one, get one combo, but Tyrant is right there to zone him away.
1-for-2 trade, and the Kingdom in the MPL Arena, they go wild. It looks like Drees will be spotted out here, and he's on a sliver of health, but so is Rins and Dyron.
Good headbutt away. Dyron's going to be taken out by the Fracture. Sutsujin very low, already using the electrifying beats. Evo's Glory have recovered their position around the turtle. This should be a complete 3 perfect turtle for Annabelle. Wow.
No answer from RRQ whatsoever in terms of these neutral objectives. And it looks like when it comes down to the trades as well, there's not much that RRQ have found in return.
That's a crazy development there. The fact that Evos went for the diversion play and it resulted in a massive swing and a momentum to RRQ. And then RRQ greedily going for the neutral objective when they're just so low on HP that they're just in so much danger, particularly Dyron. Now it's back to the waiting game, but Evos definitely have had benefits from this aggressive style that RRQ are displaying. If you take a look at the items, it's only a Blood Wings and the Genius Wand for Sutsujin, so he can do a lot of damage over time though. Skylar, as we mentioned earlier, was behind in gold, but he has caught up actually gaining the advantage right there as we speak, farming in the jungle, but also taking away some of that gold away from Sutsujin though. You have to keep in mind there's limited resources. Diversion though.
Okay. Oh my god, Sutsujin! Dreams of a flicker forward. Good move by Sutsujin. Getting out. That's a whole lot of resources burnt out. Edok missing out the I'm offended. Getting caught by the Yang reaction now. Avatar the Guardian to the back line, but Rin's gonna be caught somehow. How? How did Rin disappear? Dyron isolated all alone, now taken out by Natko and Kwakun. Oriki Hoshi in shambles. Dream spotting out Sutsujin. This is a 2,700 gold lead for Evo's Glory.
What happened?
It was Annabelle. He came in from the sides, caught Rin's lacking immediately. Look at Sutsujin go.
Again, Kwakun forced to flicker around. Sutsujin coming in. The damage not enough. Kwakun getting the shielding. Kwakun surviving. And Annabelle getting the lethal ignition as Natko gets dealt with by Rins, who's walking up. Dreams goes in with a headbutt. And now we have some downtime again, but wow.
Arashi, please walk us through what happened in the past minute.
The fact that the Rins has to purify, you can't purify the damage coming in from Annabelle on that Nolan. And that's the part we're talking about, but look at his avatar. Wait, from Dyron. Interesting use of the avatar will be available. As the board is up, the win on the top side, typically RRQ can go for the cross map play, but the win on the top side isn't pushed up. Skylar is grouping together with the team, and now they gotta play really, really careful here. That Nolan is an absolute menace. With the slow on the Fracture, it's a lot more difficult for some of these heroes to get away from it. And look at this. Immediately Evos, as they arrive, take away all that control.
RQ don't have the resources just yet, right? Dyron and Idok both don't have the ultimates up. RQ, they need to buy a little bit more time before they go in for the commitment. But look at Sutsujin and the way that he's pathing right now. Is it possibly? Oh, wait a second.
Annabelle brought back by the Stampede, but they get a turret off of it. Annabelle can just dash out to safety. Evos are getting these small dubs that are building up. They're doing a great job just pressuring RRQ again and again to stick around. They're the ones dictating the pace, Evos. RRQ, they're playing a lot more reactive right here, and this is not what you normally expect. The reason why RRQ are on the top of the standings is because they've been able to actually play so well when they're ahead, when they're able to find the right kind of game plans that they're looking for from all the way from the drafting phase. Now it's looking different. It's looking like they're not quite sure how to play this. Even when you look at the combo between Dyron and Edok, you don't really know who exactly at this point in time is in charge of opening the map or going for the engage. Both Dyron and Edok have been kind of trading that role back and forth, and that inconsistency can lead to a lot of openings for Evos to take advantage of.
now it comes down to Evos Glory really playing with their mid-game power spike. They should be around that mid-game power spike already. And for RRQ, they're still going to have to wait for Skylar to scale up to become a monster. This is looking scary. Evos' window is about to open up.
Oh?
It's a rotational diversion to go straight to the Lord. Oof.
Dyron, able to escape. Edoc, revealing some of the members here. Evos Glory taking control. Annabelle with a BOD already. The onward coming down onto Edoc. No full initiation just yet. Psychops knows better to go in. Annabelle actually already losing half his HP. Dyron with the Avatar. Nako with the Holy Crystal already with Zaman Force placed in.
Annabelle winning on the retreat battle as he was zoned away. Psychops getting rid of the Netherrealm, and Evos Glory pulled back. Well played. Clean MLBB from Evos Glory.
Where has this Evos been the entire playoffs? What was that from Annabelle as well? That shouldn't have been possible. That's a 2-for-0 trade in favor of the White
Skylar.
Tigers, and they're not done.
He has the Purifies him on force over. Skylar going to be taken out by Natko from the Harith.
It's way too much damage. The Purify can't save you from that. The Lord comes in through for the side of Evos. That tower on the bottom side is looking kind of low though. It won't fall, unfortunately, for RRQ as Evos begin their counterattack. Now RRQ with no high ground, without any advantages to take advantage of. They're just waiting around to see if they can make an outplay happen, if they can get a catch onto Annabelle, or maybe into Clocken. But in the pure front to back at this point in time, there's just way too much damage, way too much burst damage from the side of Evos for RRQ to even do anything.
So Tsujin, Holy Crystal, will that make a difference?
Diversion again up top this time. These are some very ambitious diversions from Evos Glory. Some have actually been very sketchy, but overall, I think we go back to the keys of victory. Chaos over Cascute. RRQ Hoshi, they are struggling to go up against a very chaotic composition like this.
Yeah, nothing is really moving in a textbook fashion. Now you can see RRQ trying to find some information. Usually Rince will be in charge here to spam out some spells to try and get that vision. But now it's Edoc going in vanilla, but look at this.
Good Earth Shatter to cancel that. That is a tier 2 up top taken down. Evos Glory with the First Lord have taken 3 turrets, tier 2s. The window still open for Evos. This is still within the realm of their power spike.
What about RRQ's power spike? When will that hit? Skylar's already at 3 items, right?
He actually is already on 4 items, even with a Rose Gold, just in case Clocken and Natko get their hands on him. But if that earlier pickoff on the bottom lane is indication of anything, Skylar isn't safe at all. At 14 minutes here, you can see that at least Skylar and Syzygen are level 15. And in fact, from the side of Evos, only Annabelle is level 15. So there are moments available, but look at this.
Dreams all alone. He does have the pin down. Psychops with the onward. Now Tyree to be pinned down and bursted out. Good Netherrealm to save him. Syzygen in the midst of it all, jumping in with Avatar Clockhood. Trying to survive. Syzygen gain the elimination as Natko jumps in back and forth with the Demand Force. Now it's Syzygen knocked up and Annabelle with the assassination. Natko picks up a double. Evos Glory get the winning fight. It's 2-for-1 in favor of Evos.
Oh no. 2-for-1 trade. RRQ still going to be able to clear out that top lane. But in the grand scheme of things, Evos will be able to set up for this next Lord first. They will be able to get to the neutral objective first. And if we take a look at the fun fact from GoPay earlier on, EXP Gatot Kacha, 4th time it's been used throughout the MPL regions. Still sitting at a 0% win rate, by the way. So the odds are against RRQ, even here.
This isn't working the same way that RRQ would like to have it. Now it's back to that survival mindset. And earlier, I believe Rince got taken out as well.
Yeah.
Might have came back with the passive, so it's actually a 3-for-1 for the side of Evos. The fact that Syzygen is left so far alone, in theory there are combos here. The ammo branded into the electrifying beats from Syzygen can do a lot of damage, but so far, Evos just has not been allowing it. That heavy spin actually is just doing so much work here to just throw the formation of RRQ into chaos.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a do-or-die game. Evos, the White Tigers, the last breath, but look at Dreams.
Dreams, that might have been a mistake, brother. Avatar canceled.
by the heavy spin, but Dreams will lose his immortality. Nako with his Amon Force now, jumping back and forth with the Chrono Dash and the Synchro Vision, but now, even with the Purify, gets a lot of shielding. Nako versus a World Enoch will be taken very low as Pure Destruction, as Sutsujin gets rid of Annabelle, but Skylar is not able to survive. The Lord gets a swing at him. Clockwood taking a base turret in the mid lane down. Sutsujin still surviving. The Kings are holding on to their castle, to their safe haven. 2 base turrets.
And luckily for them, luckily for RRQ, these are the base turrets that are on the... Oh wait, no, it's luckily for Evos. It's on the opposite side. Can RRQ still survive?
La ilaha illallah.
I'm offended coming down. Nako, that is a mistake, but Nako goes in and down with the outplay. Nako on the Hereth is an absolute beast of a monster.
The base
goes in, that's another kill over to Sutsujin, who buys the winner crown, but Evo's glory, they keep their playoff dreams alive. They shatter the win streak. They beat the Kings.
This was a battle between heaven and earth. Everything was on the line for the White Tigers. And they have done it. They reverse swept the Kings of Kings, #1 on the standings as #9. RRQ thought that today was the day that they tame the beast once again. But this time around, Evos show otherwise.
Who would have expected this outcome? Who other than Papulong, the visionary? He somehow knew. 2-1 for Evos. Not able to win against anyone on the longest lose streak. With everything looking so dire, they pull up an upset against #1, against a team that is being hyped up to represent us in M6.
What the heck? Divine intervention, stopping Evos from being eliminated from playoffs. This game would have been it, folks. This match would have been it. It would have been Evos knocked out with a match win. Folks, the impact of this one match could change everything. RRQ now, it looked like the upper bracket slot was going to be safe for them, but this might have changed things.
And maybe this is the answer that the White Tigers have severely needed. After so many shakeups to their roster, maybe Divine Intervention shows us that it's not Go, that it's Annabelle, Dreams, Clockun, and Psychots. Maybe they are the answer to the prayers of all the Evos fans around the world to still make it to the playoff stage.
It was a respectable attempt from both teams, man. It was that intense. But moments like this, like you said, it just feels like divine intervention. Everything that could have gone wrong for RRQ really went south. Even this pickoff, in theory, RRQ would not have splinched it, botched it like this. But man, Evos just found those moments, man. They have done it.
They truly have. And let's talk to them. Let's talk to the victors. Let's talk to Evos Glory.
Sang Raja dicakar oleh sang macan putih, Evos Glory! Wow, tapi sebelum Monica mau nanya-nanya dengan Evos Glory, ada yang menarik perhatian Monica di sini. Bagaimana Evos Fam memberikan salam salaman dengan Kingdom begitu manis. Mana tepuk tangannya bukan cuma buat Evos Glory, tapi juga untuk Evos Fams. Luar biasa, akhirnya finally. Kayaknya kata yang tepat nih untuk diomongin ke Evos Glory. Welcome back Evos Glory. Wow, akhirnya finally setelah lose streak sekarang ada harapan lagi. Kemenangan kedua selama di stage MPL Indonesia. Tapi sebenarnya Monica mau mewakili pertanyaan yang banyak banget tersebar selama ini. Siapa yang mau jawab? Mungkinkah Annabelle? Apa yang sebenarnya terjadi? Kenapa begitu sulit Evos Glory untuk bangkit? Apa yang membuat Evos Glory begitu sulit untuk bangkit di season 14?
Boleh ulang nggak?
Apa yang membuat Evos Glory sulit bangkit di season 14?
Ya mungkin dari kami telat adaptasi lah, kami juga player banyak salah. Jadi kayak kita kurang catch up meta yang sekarang, patch sekarang gitu. Mungkin buat sekarang kita udah coba nemu patch kita sendiri lah sama jati diri kita.
Jati diri kalian, apakah berarti ini kalian percaya diri kah dengan game-game selanjutnya juga?
Ya karena ada posisi kayak gini ya kami pasti all nothing tulus saja. Soalnya ada apalagi yang diharapin, gak ada yang diharapin lagi kita.
Wow, tapi juga ada di samping Anabel dong, sama-sama ini. Welcome back, Kapten Psychots. Wow, Kapten Psychots, akhirnya ini kemenangan pertama di season 14. Bagaimana rasanya? Apalagi kemenangan pertama di season 14 melawan sang rival RRQ nih.
Kalau dari gue sendiri sih seneng banget kan, soalnya kemenangan ini buat Evos Fams.
Buat Evos Fam dong, wow. Emangnya Evos Fam begitu setia, tetap memberikan dukungan. Tapi ada yang menarik juga nih, kalau ngelihat tadi di samping Psychots ada Anabel. Monica mau balik lagi ke Anabel. Anabel, gimana rasanya ketemu dengan jungler idolanya, role modelnya. Apalagi tadi, solo kill, aduh retrinya menang terus.
Ya senang lah, soalnya kan kayak bisa bersaing sama Sujin kan. Soalnya emang menunggu juga match ini. Soalnya emang pengen ketemu Arthur lagi, karena kalah di leg 1.
Karena kalah di leg 1, tapi gimana setelah ketemu di leg 1 dan leg kedua, apakah ini menjadi ajang balas dendamnya Anabel? Makanya Anabel makin ganas tuh.
Ya gak ada balas dendam sih, cuman pengen ngalahin. Pasti jadi Arthur juga pengen ngalahin gue.
Oke, tapi ada yang menarik juga, karena sebenarnya kalau dilihat tadi tuh, ini prediction para caster-caster yang bertugas hari ini. Semuanya prediksinya itu 2-0 guys buat RRQ. Tapi ternyata kalian menjawab dengan memberikan kemenangan pada kali ini. Kalau biasanya kan Monica nanyain pesan-pesan buat Evos Fam atau pesan-pesan buat sang tim lawan. Boleh gak sih kalian mau kasih pesan-pesan apa nih buat caster yang hari ini prediksinya tuh 2-0. Nolnya buat kalian tapi kalian membalikan keadaan.
Pesan buat siapa?
Buat caster-caster yang hari ini prediksinya kalian tuh kalah 2-0 tapi kalian menjawab dengan kemenangan.
Ya prediksi aja, itu kan pendapat mereka kan. Ya dari kami, ya kami juga sadar kami lagi cupu.
Oh, mungkin Klokun mau nambahin nih. Mungkin Klokun atau Dreams mau nambahin. Apa nih pesan-pesan, mungkin jawaban-jawaban yang ingin disampaikan kepada yang prediksi kalian mungkin bakalan sulit untuk memenangkan game hari ini.
Apaan tuh, ngasih apaan?
Ke caster yang tadi prediksi, ke mungkin ada super fans yang begitu mungkin sulit nih Evos Glory buat bangkit gitu.
Ya terima kasih ya buat caster yang udah prediksi.
Oh, caster-caster terima kasih katanya, langsung diangkat jempolnya. Oke, tapi mau nanyain Klokun dulu dong. Klokun, masih Klokun. Klokun, gimana rasanya match up dengan para rookie dari RRQ? Match up dengan RRQ, tapi kalian kan ketemunya dengan rookie-rookinya dari RRQ. Kamu match up-nya sama Rims.
Jago. Jago.
Tapi di leg 1, leg 2 perbandingannya seperti apa tuh?
Masih sama sih, sama-sama jago.
Sama-sama jago, tapi di leg 2 kalian yang menang.
Ya emang rezekinya di Evos berarti.
Rezekinya di Evos. Tapi ada Dreams juga dong, Dreams.
Ya udah.
Selain Klokun, kamu juga nih yang ketemu sama rookie match up-nya dengan Idok. Gimana kalau kata Klokun kan ya jago. Kalau dari seorang Dreams?
Bagus kok, mekaniknya juga tinggi dia.
Perbedaan?
Masih muda.
Kan Dreams juga masih muda?
Enggak. Tuwir.
Oh, tapi tetap jago karena kali ini juga berhasil meraih kemenangan. Dan tentunya ada yang di samping Monica dari tadi. Udah Monica gemes banget mau nanyain. Natko, akhirnya menang nih lawan Skylar. Itu. Akhirnya menang nih lawan Skylar. Apakah ini balas dendamnya?
Ya enggak juga sih, emang menang aja. Kebetulan menang aja. Tapi kan Masih banyak match.
Tapi khusus untuk RRQ, ngelawan RRQ. Karena di leg pertama Natko harus merelakan kemenangannya. Tapi kali ini berhasil. Mungkinkah ini balas dendam kah atau seperti apa tuh? Udah puas?
Belum puas sih, tapi nggak tahu Lex 1 nggak main soalnya.
Oh iya, Lex tuh nggak main ya, tapi ini udah ketemu Skylar. Karena sebelumnya kan ngomong mau ketemu Skylar nih, udah ketemu. Gimana tuh rasanya setelah match up?
Ya udah seneng aja sih.
Ada preparation yang mungkin siap-siapnya spesial gitu nggak?
Ya nggak ada lah, kita fokus sama diri sendiri dulu aja.
Fokus ke diri sendiri. Ada yang mau ditambahin Dreams? Ada yang mau ditambahin? Kayaknya Dreams senyum-senyum dari tadi nih.
Gak ada, Nek, kagak mau. Gak ada.
Gak ada. Dan tentunya perjalanan dari Evos Fam seperti Evos Glory yang seperti yang disampaikan Natko ini fokus ke diri sendiri karena masih ada perjalanan selanjutnya. Saikot sekalian besok bakalan ketemu dengan tim Liquid Indonesia. Di leg 1 harus mengakui kekalahan dengan game poin 2-1. Sekarang mungkinkah kemenangan hari ini membawa booster buat kalian, semangat yang lebih untuk ketemu dengan TLID besok?
Ya buat gua ya hari ini tuh bisa jadi buat boost kita di next matchnya lagi. Mungkin buat tim Liquid ya kita kasih game seru aja. Soalnya kita semoga ya bisa kasih yang lebih baik lah.
Kasih yang lebih baik, ngomongin yang lebih baik Monica mau kutip nih. Karena sebelumnya tim Liquid Indonesia ada Aaron Shiki yang bilang ya. Pesan-pesan buat Evos katanya udahlah kasih game yang terbaik tapi kayaknya gak bakalan gitu.
Kita lihat aja besok sebenarnya. Gue nggak mau banyak ngomong aja. Yang penting kita main aja dulu.
Yang penting main aja itu kata Kapten Saikots. Tapi Monica juga mau denger dari Anovel. Anovel ada pesan-pesan gak tuh buat tim Liquid Indonesia yang bakalan kalian hadapi?
Ya gak ada lah, mereka jago. Omongan mereka sesuai dengan skill mereka.
Oke, dan kita akan lihat bagaimana pembuktiannya nanti. Tapi hari ini boleh dong sekali lagi mana aumannya Evos Fam untuk Evos Glory. Dan itulah kemenangan dari Evos Glory hari ini menambah nyawa harapan untuk bisa melangkah lebih jauh di babak playoff. Tapi tentunya mereka akan membedah lebih jauh bagaimana kemenangan dari Evos Glory kali ini. So silakan casters, back to you.
Congratulations once again to the White Tigers.
What
One of
the
the
heck?
biggest upsets we've had this
The
season.
biggest, the biggest. Ninth first?
Huh?
It ain't over till it's over.
It really isn't.
Match point Evos.
Proud of them. proud
Match
of them.
point Evos. When the going gets tough, man, they're just something else. What is going on, dude?
That was ridiculous. Natko became Prime Marco. Dreams became Chaknu. Prime Chaknu.
Just prime
He
everything.
became Prime
dude.
Donkey. He became Prime Evos M1. What happened? Is it a buff every time you go up against RRQ for Evos?
I guess it must be, right? That's why the rivalry is just so good. Even people were thinking, right? We've heard people say that, man, this classic derby, it can't be that good, right? It's number 1 against number 9. But now we're saying it again, right? You never know, dude. This classic derby is a classic derby for a reason. Almost never disappoints. It was a close game and there was intense moments, but it really felt like Evos were the ones in full control at every single time, man. RRQ were the ones trying to force the issue again and again. And they just fell short. Evos has finally found the winning recipe. The right coach, the right players, the right combination of players as well.
And the right MVP. Player of the match goes to Annabelle from game 1, game number 2. He was able to get game number 3, I think. If we take a look at the votes there, back to back. Annabelle 416 KDA. This kid again. Ling, Nolan. What is he made of?
He's made of, I don't know.
Tiger. I don't know, man. Where has this Annabelle been? A lot of people have been asking, begging for this Annabelle to make a comeback appearance. And right here, you can see that RRQ missing engages, missing skills, and Evos immediately jumping on the opportunity. And look at how Annabelle is playing, dude. With the space that his team is able to find for him, he's just so on point with a lot of these moments. And knowing again that the buff, right, the technical buff to the fracture is used to its maximum potential. Even when they're playing for the pickups, RRQ, you do see that they are just always one step behind almost. And even when they do have all this AoE that in theory allows them to get on the back line, it's like they overcommit. It's like Evos know exactly what RRQ are looking for, and they're able to just barely bait them into it, barely get out of those bad situations. And the Akai roam that we had so many questions about. Everyone, I mean, we were just saying, is that really a thing? What's the combo here? Akai with the low Yi? How is it supposed to work? You group everyone together and then you smack them against the wall? That turns out it's just a great tool used to just shut down all this team fight potential coming in from RRQ. And maybe that's the winning formula that they have now laid out for a lot of teams to really crack the code.
I mean, Evos have taught us that anything is possible. So let's take a look at the comms and let's take a look at the UBS golden moments.
Gue ada di sini ya guys.
Ya liatin Psycho tadi nih, bisa kita trap itu.
Boleh,
Lihat Psycho.
Lihat gue guys.
Iya, gue liat.
Sabar agak jauh.
Angkat lagi. Lihat gue. Tarik. Gue tarik lagi kok kalau kok. Imo.
Oh, splicker arrow.
Keting.
Udah salah dia boy. Balikin dulu.
Gue met on met. Nice.
Balikin.
Balikin deh.
Menang wara.
Lihat Elis dulu.
Flicker ya, nice one.
Nice.
Bisa lo
lagi nih, sini.
Udah boy. Istighfar guys.
Kebiru gede ya gue telinnya ya. Hah? Jangan kebiru kun kita mau merah.
Merah
Ke merah gede ya maksudnya.
Jamet guys.
Ini gue takut ini. Masuk tele gue sini. Ayo balikin.
Gatot dulu.
Gatot dulu. Sikat. Gatot target. Awas kun. Sabar.
Joinnya guys.
Join lu.
Gue ini nih. Kecece dia.
Mati guys. Nice.
Atas.
Coba tuh.
Who's shot caller? Is it Psychots or is it Dreams?
I think it's both. It's both, I think. Or maybe Psychos were just giving out info and then Dreams can make the final call. Because that one play where he was in the bush with the Edith, it certainly was him. He was saying, like, look at me, I'm trapping. And they found the play on to Dyron right there. Good combination, especially with, the frontliners calling it out. It really was so good. You can see even Dreams. And the rest of them call out the moment where Rins was going all in with that Aurora play to try and catch Dreams of all people. You hear them blurt out, whoa, he made a mistake. Capitalize, punish.
That was just... Man, I don't know what to say about this win. 17 minutes, 2-1. Evos Glory, no one in their right mind would predict Evos to win this. Only a certain man who made a deal with the devil, Sarpolo, who's not even casting today.
He just knows. He knows something we don't. He has that vision, man. Looking at the items, I mean, at that point, Evos Glory were winning, but at least the main carries from RRQ Hoshi were still having a lot of damage. They have the items, Skylar and Tsutsugen. But even then, even when that was the case, you saw that. You have to recall back then, Skylar on the Moscow, with the rest of the team not performing, he's able to at least be a real threat. He's still able to kind of shred anyone down if they miss position. But in this game, we didn't see any of that. Even when someone was moving forward a bit more aggressively, Skylar just could not really at least 1v1 shut down any of the players coming in from the side of Evos, showing again the coordination because they were able to layer down the spells slowly but surely. And even Natko, the guy who was ridiculed for talking a bit too much, for being that confident, he has done it against RRQ. That is a massive achievement.
Redemption.
Coming from an RRQ fan.
And also Natko. I mean, yeah, Natko. This guy was getting so much hate when he made that statement.
Exactly.
Right? The fact that he did it. He beat Skylar. Natko, congrats, man.
I feel like I'm dreaming
Props,
right now.
dude. Congrats for the win.
It doesn't feel real.
It's still a long road, right? I mean, you can be happy for this match, but you still have to win every single match, and you're still gonna have to wait for Alter Ego and Dewa to lose all their next matches. So it's a long road for Evo still.
Let's take a look at what Raralove has to say, though. Raralove VV_, by the way. Defeated in the 33rd Classic Derby, how can RRQ bounce back in the next match? They said, RRQ actually has good gameplay. Maybe they just need to improve on counter heroes for initiation and the damage dealer who wasn't strong early on. I think they're referring to Alice?
Yeah, maybe Alice
damage
and
dealer who
Moscow,
wasn't strong
right?
early
Because
on. Oh yeah, Moscow.
I just want to say, Keys of Victory were pretty darn accurate. Strong side Natko every single time. punishing Rin's overextension every single time. Chaos over Cascute. Wow.
Yeah, all 6 or 8 of those win conditions
That's crazy.
were fulfilled.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. But let's take to the other.
Oh my god.
Not the loser,
This
other
is the only
team
time we see
interview.
RRQ in the losers interview.
Let's check it out.
Cascute. You better take it, Cascute. Or NMM.
NMM?
One of the two.
If it's Cascute?
Someone else, I just want to hear from them.
Okay.
Sang Raja hari ini harus tunduk kepada Sang Macan Putih. Ada apa dengan Sang Raja RRQ Hoshi? Langsung aja Monica bakalan nanyain ini langsung kepada Sang Head Coach. Ada Cascute di sini. Cascute, what happened? Ada apa ini dengan RRQ?
Gak ada apa-apa.
Gak ada apa-apa.
Gak ada apa-apa, ya.
Gak ada apa-apa. Tapi tadi tuh Monica ngelihat ada apa-apa dengan draft. Karena draftnya kayaknya draft yang gak biasa nih. Karena kita ngelihat ada Cecil Gold, ada Alice Gold, ada Gatot EXP. Apakah ini udah draft terbaik dari Cascute kah?
Enggak sih. Maksudnya gimana ya, draft yang bakal dipakai aja. Emang udah kita mau pakai terus. Ya kan ada patch baru juga ya, kemarin baru ya, kayak 2 hari lah. 2 hari terus ya kenapa kita eksperimen dikit lah.
Oke, Monica tertarik dengan kata eksperimen sedikit. Eksperimen sedikit ini berarti apakah memang udah disiapin nih eksperimennya? Ah maunya nanti kita eksperimennya di match ini, match ini, match itu gitu. Udah disiapin, di plan gak?
Iya dong kan, goals kita kan ya biar lolos sampai playoff. Jadi ya kita buka semua yang menurut kita potensial. Jadi ya gitu. Mulai dari sekarang kan, mumpung patch baru juga.
Mumpung patch baru, tapi sebenarnya eksperimennya ditujukan memang khusus kah kepada sang rival Evos Glory? Atau kebetulan aja
Kebetulan
nih?
sih, kebetulan.
Kebetulan
Ya,
aja?
Iya.
Tapi setelah eksperimen nih apa yang dipelajarin akhirnya?
Ya mungkin belum terbiasa aja sih dengan itu. Jadi ya karena kan ya latihan gak terlalu banyak kan karena patch-nya terus. Jadi ketika momen-momen kalau lagi susah karena hero-nya mungkin gak terlalu nyaman. Jadi mereka bingung kan buat mau ngapain kalau lagi under. Jadi ya it's okay, pembelajaran lah bagus.
It's okay pembelajaran, siapa tahu ini bisa jadi strategi nanti ya ke playoff. Ngomongin playoff juga, apakah mungkin ini eksperimennya dimulai ketika kita udah secure playoff, ya udah kita eksperimen aja gitu.
Enggak dong, kan goalsnya tetap kan. Abis kita udah lolos playoff kan kita pengen upper, abis upper pengen juara ya. Semoga menang lah, menang sambil belajar kan lebih bagus.
Oh, menang sambil belajar. Tapi kan kalau kita ngeliatin derby klasik nih, aduh antusiasme luar biasa, antusiasme dari Evos Fam, dari Kingdom. Kalau dari sudut pandang seorang Cascute yang bisa dibilang ini coach baru dari RRQ ya. Ngelihat pertarungan derby klasik itu seperti apa sih? Apakah juga udah tertanam di hati Cascute bahwa ini adalah pertandingan harga diri?
Enggak sih, biasa aja kita kan ngelawan musuh apapun ya, kebetulan sekarang ngelawannya Evos dan juga patch-nya baru banget kemarin ya, kebetulan lawan Evos ya. Jadi kita sih tampilin yang kita mau, strategi fokus sama diri kita. Jadi ya kebetulan Evos aja, jadi nggak ada perbedaan kayaknya.
Gak ada perbedaan, jadi balik lagi akhirnya ke patch lagi ya. Kalau ngomongin patch, hari ini kan eksperimen patch tapi kurang maksimal nih hasilnya. Tapi besok kalian bakalan ketemu dengan Geek Fam.
Ya.
Ini bagaimana persiapannya? Karena udah besok nih ketemunya Geek Fam, hari ini kalian masih eksperimen dengan patch, besok seperti apa?
Besok kayaknya mungkin Baloy kan hero-nya unik juga tuh, mungkin dia eksperimen juga. Jadi ya mungkin besok aneh-aneh juga hero-nya, seru lah.
Besok bakalan seru, tapi kalau dari RRQ udah prepare banget kah untuk besok ngelawan Geek? Karena di leg 1 sih kalian menang ya, RRQ menang. Tapi udah siap kah dengan dua Baloy Aboy? Apalagi tadi kan penasaran nih sama Baloy ya dengan hero-hero uniknya.
Balik lagi nanti kan kita discuss dulu lah, kita tadi ya concern mereka anak-anak apa sama game tadi. Terus ya kalau mereka ya ada input jadi kita pakai buat besok, pokoknya gimana, aman sih.
Pokoknya aman aja, jadi ini hari ini jadi pembelajaran, jadi strategi baru siapa tahu untuk pertandingan besok hari. Aduh, Monica tuh jarang-jarang banget nih ketemunya sama Cascute RRQ di backstage. Kita akan lihat besok bakalan ketemu lagi di sini ataukah bakalan ketemu di stage dengan teman-teman dari RRQ Hoshi. Thank you banget Cascute dan juga good luck untuk next match-nya. Dan tentunya kita masih memiliki match-match selanjutnya, tapi para caster di sana juga pengen nyampein sesuatu tuh. Silakan casters, back to you.
Thank you so much, Kesky. Thank you so much, Moko, for that other interview. And I agree with Moko.
Loser interview.
We don't see them very often in the other interview.
Two
And seeing
times.
them there,
Loser interview.
other interview.
This is the first time, isn't it? Is that the first time they've actually, the second time?
Second. First one was after the loss against Bigatron.
Bigatron.
Of course he
man.
remembers.
We got you back though, right? Huh? We got you back though.
Yeah, and Evos got you back.
All right.
Man, I'm still impressed. Evos, what the heck happened? Hey, now all you guys can start spamming Age out again after that performance in the draft. Go
Kinda
do
crazy, isn't it?
Do it.
Anyway, for Evos, it's still
Big fans.
a big journey ahead of them, right?
Yo.
Upcoming match, we have TLID.
My bad.
They have to win everything.
Okay, you want to read it out, Arashi? Go ahead.
Team Liquid ID already, whoa, and then Rebellion. So the blue, the blue against the blue type deal, okay.
And then the last
and Fnatic Onyx.
That would be poetic though. If it comes down to the final match against Onyx, against the 4P champions, for them to make it to the playoffs.
Oh man,
I'm saying that would be poetic.
That's crazy.
Legit, like that's an anime storyline. And we thought last season it was already anime. It was already Miracle Run. This would be
Ultra.
Let's not jinx it. Let's not say anything. I'm gonna jinx the other side. Evos will not make it to playoffs. Let me just try to curse them.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's just
we gotta try
Team
to.
Liquid Fnatic
If this
Onyx.
actually happens,
Impossible.
Rudda, I don't know what to say, but I'm in for it. I'm in for the show.
Oh, next up though, RRQ against Geek Fam with a bit of history, with Geek Fam flaming to try and get RRQ back for their defeat. And you have to remember, with the changes to the patches, with us hyping up the Natalia just the whole day, the first and second match, you have to remember the nightmare in the rowing position, the
devil.
demon, the devil down below, Baloyski on the
war crime
Natalia,
general.
on the other crazy roams. When the patch notes hit, I mean, Geek Fam are just something else, right? The creativity, I don't know, man. What do you want to call it? The crazy drafts
The
they're able to
Baloyski.
bring up. It's just insane. Afterwards, Dewa and Alter Ego, but they have to get Geek out of the way first.
Yeah. Take it one step at a time, folks. Geek Fam first. That in itself, one day to prepare, one day to fix these mistakes. Evos have made a blueprint already. Chaos takes them. And yeah, Geek Fam are pretty chaotic. They like to do what Evos have been doing in the last 2 games.
I think that's fair. Usually they kind of play it slow and then suddenly, boom, a surprise coming in from
bang, bada
Baloyski. But I mean, if you want a surprise as well, you have to remember you have a 10% discount and 10k GoPay coins cashback for a limited quota if you go and buy your tickets and you pay with GoPay. They start from 85k. Make sure you don't miss out, because just right here, I believe some people were saying, some people I know have been saying, I ain't gonna watch that. Number 1 and number 9? What could possibly happen? An upset. Okay, that's why you can't miss the action in the MPL arena, dude. You never know what's gonna happen. Especially in Season 14, we are in some really wild times.
Don't miss out. Don't miss out, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and check out the tickets on the official MPL website. And like Arashi mentioned, don't forget to check out with GoPay to get all the advantages. And if we're talking about advantages and benefits, the only thing I'm circling back to is the best ice cream in the world, right? Campina.
Campina.
Whether it be the Choco Vanilla, the Double Crunch, just everything. Double your energy to God level. Because, you know, experience the excitement of mabar or makan bareng or eating together with Tropicana Double Crunch. Hurry up and get it over at the Campina booth. Because you know, the only reason I'm casting is for Campina.
Understandable,
Legit.
right? With Campina in our town room, we have an unlimited stock.
Unlimited,
all
guys.
you can eat Campina. And if we, let's say, you know, run out of stock, we can always just go over and click into Mart.
I could use some of that, honestly. double crunch, also double portions maybe. And it doesn't even matter because if you use click Indo